prices ever since. Like 5 quarts of Valvoline full synthetic motor oil, $20.99 after mail-in rebate, and select DeWalt sump pumps, $224.99. All other sump pumps are 10% off. In store or online, we've got the value you need to do things your way. Blaine's Farm and Fleet, being original.
Who doesn't need a seasonal wardrobe update? But who has the cash to always keep their wardrobe updated? Ladies, that's why you shop St. Vincent de Paul. Our women's clothing is always a highlight of our stores, and thrift store prices keep the costs low. It allows you to experiment and also find a hidden gem. St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores on Highway 100 in Layton and Greenfield, 23rd in Lincoln, and 76th and Bradley Road in Milwaukee.
Ooh, you're gonna love it, St. Vincent de Paul.
Trusted, relevant, locally owned, locally programmed. We are Wisconsin's radio station. News Radio 620, WTMJ Milwaukee.
6 o'clock, I'm Vince Vitrano on Wisconsin's Morning News Tuesday, March 11th. Our top story, a warning delivered to UW-Madison.
I'm Erik. Bilstad, high-stakes talks overseas.
I'm Debbie Lazaga, looking pretty good across the area with one exception. Northbound on 41 between Watertown Plank Road and North Avenue. Some overnight road work still being pulled back there, so just heads up. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Not exactly what we had yesterday. Mostly sunny today and much cooler today. High of 43 degrees and temperatures falling this afternoon. Partly cloudy skies, low of 32 tonight. Right now at 49. And from the WTMJ Breaking News Center, UW-Madison among 60 universities across the country in danger of losing federal funding if they fail to protect Jewish students on campus. WTMJ's Adam Roberts live in the Breaking News Center.
Vince, a letter sent Monday to the school is warning of potential enforcement actions from the Department of Education if UW-Madison does not fulfill obligations under Title VI of the Civil Rights Act. That's the portion that protects Jewish students on campus. UW-Madison, the only university from Wisconsin on that list. The letter coming almost a year after pro-Palestinian encampments formed at UW-Madison and UW-Milwaukee. A spokesperson for the school says UW-Madison will cooperate with any questions or requests for information.
Federal funding uncertainty leaves questions as state lawmakers draft the state budget plans, but President of the Wisconsin Policy Forum, Jason Stein, isn't sounding alarm bells quite yet.
These programs, by and large, are outlined in statute at the federal level. You know, there's certainly some things that are competitive funding, or it's not to say that nothing could be withdrawn, and some things probably will be withdrawn. Most of these big marquee programs like Medicaid, they're in statute.
In Governor Evers' budget proposal, $18 billion come from federal funding out of the $59 billion overall.
5 Madison residents, including 2 UW students, are without a home this morning. There was a big old fire, flames spreading quickly from the second to the third floor of a home in Madison. Firefighters experienced a fire attack when attempting to contain the flames. It took them about 40 minutes to put things down. American Red Cross is providing assistance to everybody who needs a place to stay.
New concerns from economists this morning about President Trump's tariff policy. ABC's Nicole D'Antonio.
Investors remain cautious after President Trump refused to rule out a possible recession as he imposes tariffs on Mexico, Canada, and China. Tariffs on steel and aluminum are set to go into effect tomorrow, which means everything from appliances to cars could soon get more expensive. And the president says reciprocal tariffs on America's trading partners will take effect April 2nd, meaning any tariff a foreign country has on U.S. products, the U.S. will match.
It's not Canadian citizens versus U.S. citizens and who will hurt more from the tariffs. It's workers.
When it comes to trade relationships, the U.S. and Canada is historically as balanced as it can get.
50-50. It's about $250 billion either way. There's no trade imbalance.
Ontario's Minister of Economic Development, Job Creation and Trade, Vic Fideli, joined Wisconsin's Afternoon News. He says both Canada and the United States could see job loss in the hundreds of thousands.
Not all of Canada, just Ontario is the largest customer for 17 U.S. states, and we're your number 2 customer for 11 more states.
Jessica Gatso, WTMJ News.
Talks are underway this morning in Saudi Arabia between a delegation of Ukrainian officials and a group from the U.S. headed by Secretary of State Marco Rubio.
During this meeting with U.S. officials, Ukraine plans to propose that it and Russia agree to a pause on long-range strikes from the air and sea. It comes hours after Ukraine hit Moscow with its largest drone attack of the war, clearly a signal. Secretary of State Marco Rubio has said the talks will also be key to whether the U.S. restores intelligence sharing to Ukraine. Patrick Reevell, ABC News, at the Foreign Desk.
Despite a dramatic decrease in migrant encounters on the U.S.-Mexico border, officials reporting cartel human smuggling operations are showing no signs of slowing. News Nation's Jorge Ventura.
We embedded with Border Patrol agents in a known hotspot for cartel smuggling in that RGV sector. And as we followed agents, we quickly noticed just the amount of clothing from children and personal belongings scattered all along this trail in the middle of the night. A reminder, agents tell us that the family units and single adults from Central America continue to be smuggled through that same sector.
Coming up, a world-changing moment 5 years ago today. Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 6:05.
You gotta get to Built Right today. WTMJ's Vince Vitrano for Built Right furniture, leather, and mattresses. Shop Built Right's annual Friends and Family Sale and $1 million clearance sell-off on now. If you are looking for affordable, better quality furniture or mattresses, you got to do what my wife and I did. We went to Built Right. We love our new living room furniture, our son's sleeping on a new mattress, and most importantly, we enjoyed the shopping experience. 4 generations, 97 years strong, celebrating 19 years in the Greenfield location. 3rd and 4th generation family members in the store, working alongside their amazing team. Be ready for your Easter guests with thousands of items in stock or custom order at a low sale price. USA made, small scale, Ohio Amish made, and real solid wood furniture. 60 models of USA made mattresses. Built Right always saves you money. Open Monday through Saturday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. and Sunday, closed to be with family. Make sure to tell them Vinny sent you to Built Right, 54th and Layton Avenue in Greenfield.
At Gruber Law Offices, we take great pride in helping those who have trusted us after a serious accident. Our team has the knowledge, resources, and experience to get you the results you deserve. Don't wait to get the help you need. Make the right call. Call Gruber Law Offices today. Proud partner of your Milwaukee Bucks. One call, that's all.
As clutch of a player to ever play basketball.
It's game time on Season 4 of Behind the Bucks on Bucks Plus.
This year, I was like, I need to impose myself more on this team.
Explore Damian Lillard's journey to becoming a top 75 player in NBA history.
That's what really had me feeling like this is going to be great.
Behind the Bucks is presented by Gallagher, your trusted insurance broker, and H&R Benefits Consultant. Find Bucks Plus on bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, and wherever you get podcasts.
Since 1964, we've changed your tires and so much more. Richland's Tire and Service, such a refreshing change. Richland's.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 6:07.
ESPN Wisconsin's Mark Tauscher with a prediction on this year's program 24 hours ago that's already come true. That and sports coming up at 6:15.
Los Angeles County's new district attorney says the Menendez brothers do not deserve to be free despite pressure for a court to release them 35 years after they killed their parents.
New LA County DA Nathan Hochman doing a 180, reversing the previous DA's stance on the possible release of the Menendez brothers. Hochman saying he will ask a court to keep them in prison, saying they have spent years lying and not admitting to their lies.
The Menendez brothers persist in telling these lies for the last over 30 years about their self-defense defense.
A court hearing is set for later this month when a judge could decide if the brothers deserve to get parole. Alex Stone, ABC News in downtown L.A.
For the first time in more than 3 weeks since Pope Francis was admitted to the hospital with a double pneumonia infection, the Vatican talking about an improved prognosis.
They are no longer using that term guarded. They're not precisely saying what his prognosis is, but they're talking about how improvements in his condition seen by his doctors in the last few days have been further consolidated. So Pope Francis continues to respond positively to the medication, the treatment which he is undergoing. But he is still undergoing important treatment, respiratory therapy during the day and at night. Tom Sufi-Burridge, ABC News, Rome.
Today marks 5 years since the World Health Organization classified COVID-19 as a pandemic.
The moment 5 years ago changed the world forever. The head of the World Health Organization declaring COVID-19 a global pandemic.
COVID-19 can be characterized as a pandemic.
The deadly virus spreading around the world, leading to lockdowns. Washington state recorded the first COVID case in the U.S., but New York City later became the epicenter. Michelle Franzen, ABC News.
And today, everybody's sick, but with something else. Right?
Sure seems like it.
Don't you know a lot of people who are sick right now? And COVID, hardly a peep. 6:09 on Wisconsin's Morning News.
Get windows as low as $22 per month and doors as low as $89 per month at PellaWI.com.
Being a Pella consultant means helping people build their dreams.
For Jenna, helping others find joy is so rewarding. It's why we love to do what we do.
I enjoy simplifying the process for the customer, taking the time to listen, and finding the right solution.
Randy understands that everyone's situation is different, so we don't just slap together cookie-cutter solutions.
Customers really appreciate just how prepared we are. All the samples, the videos, pictures.
Jake arrives at your free in-home consultation with pre-prepared materials to fully envision your dream Pella build.
We're with you from start to finish. You literally have a friend from beginning to end and beyond with your project.
Whether you're working with Ryan or another Pella consultant, we don't go away after the sale. We're ready with anything you may need before, during, and after installation. And right now at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, get windows as low as $22 per month and doors as low as $89 per month. Visit PellaWI.com today.
Certain restrictions apply. It's 3/31/2025.
6:10. How do the roads look, Debbie?
Looking pretty good right now, Vince. It's pretty quiet out there. No incidents and no slowdowns anywhere, so we are in good shape. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Winds of change blowing this morning. We're already at our high temperature of 49 degrees. Temperatures will be falling in the afternoon into the upper 30s under mostly sunny skies. Partly cloudy tonight, low down to 32. Not bad Wednesday. Had we not been in the 60s yesterday, this would feel great. 53 degrees your high temp on Wednesday inland. Cooler near the lake under mostly sunny skies. Thursday, partly cloudy, high 50 at the lake, 58 inland. Partly cloudy on Friday, breezy, nighttime storms possible. High of 61 degrees, 71 degrees away from Lake Michigan. And for Saturday, scattered showers, mainly early, and a windy high of 57. Right now, once again at 49.
Live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios at the Avenue in downtown Milwaukee, this is Wisconsin's Morning News. Here are your hosts, Vince Vitrano and Erik Bilstad.
So there is once or twice a year when it's allowed, when a certain something can be said out loud.
All eyes on Wall Street.
Yeah, all eyes.
You're declaring an all eyes on this morning?
I think that's fair. It's happening this morning.
Happening today on Wisconsin's Morning News.
Your stocks look kinda sick.
All right, so if not all eyes, then many eyes are on the stock market this morning. And also happening today, President Trump is set to address a gathering of business leaders. It'll be the first public comments from the president since that steep stock market drop that we saw on Monday, which is brought on after the president, of course, declined to rule out a recession during a TV interview over the weekend. So you say the R word, that's what's going to happen next.
All eyes on Wall Street this morning after stocks tumbled once again Monday. The White House downplaying those steep losses.
I think that we're pretty close to having the uncertainty behind us.
Meanwhile, China slapped new retaliatory tariffs on U.S. agricultural products, and the Premier of Ontario, Canada, added a 25% surcharge on electricity exports to 3 states, prompting the president to respond on social media, writing, "We don't need your energy."
Yeah, so that's Derek Waller from CBS. So yeah, his remarks come after Ontario announced a 25% hike in electricity export tariffs. So hey, no, well, we don't need your energy then if you're going to give us a tariff there, said the president. So what can we expect now with all this tariff talk back and forth?
I think other countries aren't going to stand still. They're going to respond. So if we put tariffs on their goods, they're going to put tariffs on our goods.
Chinese have done that. The Canadians are pretty angry, as we can see from what happened over the last couple of days. They're going to do the same thing.
So that's Mark Zandy from Moody's.
The Canadians are angry.
Yeah, it sure seems that way, right?
Lock, stock, and barrel. Everyone's mad at us.
But so all of this obviously came to head on Monday. We've seen some fluctuation in the markets before, but it really was a drastic drop on Monday. Right now, futures look good. Asian markets are down, but the futures here in the U.S. 2 hours from the bell are up at the moment. I think one thing you just got to be careful of, you don't want to say recession. You don't want to say that word out loud, at least if you're the president, because that can change things. But maybe it's really not a recession. I think the House Speaker refers to it as a transition.
I believe that the policies that we're putting forth are going to improve the economy and bring down costs for people. It takes a little while. We're in a transition period.
Okay. Transition period. Currently where we're at. So we'll keep an eye on the bell, of course, 2 hours from now. We'll see how we do when we fire it up.
Packers signed a couple of free agents, but they're not terribly sexy. No offense to them. It's just not. Right. It might not be the picks you were hoping for. That story coming up in sports next. Tax tips also on the way. They're brought to you by the Neal Group. For less stress with the IRS, visit nealgroup.net. That's NEAL Group.net for a free consultation.
Hi, this is John Neal, CPA and founder of the Neal Group. Tax tip number 7. Did you know a limited liability company, or LLC, can file a tax return 4 different ways? Many businesses form an LLC to separate the business from them personally for legal purposes to avoid liability. But figuring out the best way to file taxes can require some advice from a tax professional. LLCs can file using Form 1040 on Schedule C. LLCs can file as an S corporation or a C corporation using Form 1120S or 1120. LLCs can file as a partnership using Form 1065. There are usually other forms that need to be filed with the IRS before filing as a corporation or a partnership. Other questions surround the LLC designation, too. Can an LLC own another LLC? Yes. Does rental property need to have its own LLC? Maybe, maybe not. There are other reasons to form an LLC, but be sure to know your circumstances before electing which form to file. For more information on this tip and other tax tips, go to nealgroup.net or stop in and see us.
Hi, this is Michelle Voskel, CPA and team member at the Neal Group. Happy New Year. How's business? Do you really know? We recently worked with several clients who thought they knew, but didn't because their books were not in order. Imagine thinking you were making $1 million, but because your books are a mess, you were really only making $200,000. Quite a difference. Imagine finding out expenses were not properly recorded or sales were double recorded. If these happen to you, we can help. We work with our clients to clean up their books and give them the information they need to know where their business is now and where it is going in the future. Don't wait. Start on the path to less stress, more cash in your pocket, and no more sleepless nights. Call us at 414-325-2040 or visit nealgroup.net today to book a meeting. We can talk over Zoom, the phone, in our office, or your place of business. Yes, we like to visit our business clients. Don't wait any longer. Call 414-325-2040 or visit nealgroup.net.
Time for an update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Sports Desk.
Can't officially sign these guys until Wednesday when the NFL's 2025 season officially begins, but it appears the Packers have made some free agent deals. Sorry, fans, not for a big-name wide receiver, but a cornerback and an offensive lineman. The latter, a move predicted by ESPN Wisconsin's Mark Tauscher on this here program.
Don't be shocked if it's, and this is where it gets real sexy, if it's an interior offensive lineman. That those are the guys that make the difference, and those are the I think the talent you're always looking for.
ESPN Wisconsin's Jason Wilde among those reporting a deal for offensive guard Aaron Banks, free agent from the 49ers.
Right on the money, Tausch was.
There's going to be some shuffling then along the offensive line. Packers will get some more flexibility there. Also adding a defensive back last with the Raiders, Nate Hobbs. Again, teams can't officially start signing these guys until Wednesday afternoon.
The Brewers were featured on MLB Network on Monday night. So it was big MLB Network Day on the campus there in Maryville on Monday. So the crew talked to all the TV guys like Mark DeRosa and company. So DeRosa was asking Christian Yelich about the team's consistent success year after year.
Is it possible that you guys won't be so under the radar this year?
I mean, I feel like we're under the radar every year, which is fine. You know,
It's been a postseason 6 of the last 7 years, and you're under the radar.
every year, though. It's your guys' fault, probably.
Shouldn't be me.
We are in charge of the radar. You're the radar.
I was going to say, he's really not wrong.
You decide what's on the radar.
Yelich went deep again, by the way. So crew getting warmed up as we get closer to the start of the season.
6:19 on Wisconsin's Morning News. Coming up next, how you feel about meetings at work? There's a new study out that suggests...
Who's going to say yes? I like that.
Well, yeah, right. And that's exactly what this study shows. Nobody likes them, and they can actually cause harm to your business. That story next.
The Upswing with Jeff Sherman.
So Sidney Moncrief, Bucks legend, joins us in studio. How did your NBA career prepare you for the boardrooms that you're in each and every day?
It doesn't.
Wow, all right.
I wanted to take the concept of entrepreneurship and put it with a different lens, the lens of literacy. We need to understand these principles of literacy.
Weekdays from 10 to 11 on WTMJ. Presented by Horicon Bank, the natural choice for all your banking needs.
Vince Vitrano here for Annex Wealth Management. And isn't now exactly the time when you need a steady hand managing your investments? 2025 giving us plenty of reasons to have that steady guide for investment and retirement planning between a trade war, threat of new inflation, increasing global tension, and daily questions about the economy. Putting a pro on your side is exactly what you need. The good news is Annex is ready right now to jump in and go to work for you. What Annex does is work with what you got. And not to worry, they've seen it all. Dave Spano calls it a mishmash of investments. The Annex financial planning team reviews and analyzes what you got, and they come back with a framework, a financial plan using fiduciary principles. What that really means is they're not going to recommend a bunch of commissioned products. We say financial planning at every level. That's Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. They meet you where you're at. Visit AnnexWealth.com. You click the Get Started button. Locations in Brookfield, Mequon, Lake Country, Appleton, downtown inside the Pfister, Madison, Naples, Florida, if you need it, Libertyville, Illinois. Contact them via Zoom. You can video conference with them. It's all on the Get Started button at Annex Wealth Management.
During the transfiguration of Jesus, Peter said that they should set up 3 tents on the mountain. Peter wanted to stay in that moment. This is Archbishop Jeffrey Grob. We also can get stuck focusing on the wrong things we don't want to change. During this Jubilee year, the Holy Father has asked us to be signs of hope for others. With hope, we see that we can change. As we begin this Lent, let us each use our gifts and talents to show the world that change and hope are possible in Jesus. Please join us at Mass.
This week's Home Improvement Showcase is sponsored by Yutka Fence, keeping families and homes safe by protecting what you love most.
At 6:21, let's check in on the morning drive. Hi, Debbie.
Hey there. Looks pretty good right now. We're not seeing really any issues out there. No incidents and no delays. Relatively light volume at the moment. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
The WTMJ 5-day forecast for the day today, a little bit cooler than what we got on Monday. The high today is 43 early on, but it's going to be in the 30s by this afternoon. Sunny and breezy tonight, a low of 32. Wednesday, sunny, 53 inland. Thursday, partly cloudy, a high of 58. We get into the 70s on Friday, a high of 71 inland, partly cloudy, breezy with storms Friday night. Right now, it's 49 at 6:22.
So you've perhaps detected my cynicism, which tends to leak out, I contend accidentally, Eric, when we discuss the workplace. And in particular, meetings.
Here's an idea, conservation.
I love it. Conservation. Let's start by conserving our time and stop having these stupid meetings. No more meetings! No more meetings! No more
All right.
meetings!
New research backs that position, Eric. And if I can help all of our friends in management who may be listening, not necessarily here, but various other places. This study written up by healthday.com explains the problem that so many have with excessive meetings. Here's the headline. Bad meetings can leave you with a productivity hangover. Article is based on a workplace study by the University of North Carolina at Charlotte. 90% of employees surveyed said they sometimes experience these hangovers. which they describe as lingering frustration and distraction after unproductive meetings. So you know what that looks like, right? As soon as you get out of the meeting, what do we all do?
Sit and complain about
why do we even have this meeting? Right? This guy doesn't know what he's talking about. She doesn't. I can't believe she said that in the meeting. Why do we even have this meeting? So that's what they're talking about, this hangover. And then what do? Do you go back to whatever it was that are your job duties and start cranking out? No, now you're down. Now you're upset. You're frustrated about work.
You're distracted.
Distracted by the big picture, right? Which you don't think is going in the right direction. More than 90% of workers say bad meetings leave them with lingering stress. Meetings that are badly run often spread frustration across teams. That from the article in Health Day. Things like, I could be in charge of this place. Common refrain, right? If that's all you have to do to run the place. So oftentimes there's a salary discrepancy there. So you're a frontline worker and you look at your manager and say, well, he or she's making 2 to 3 times what I make. And they have all these meetings. The manager must have nothing better to do than waste everybody's time. And they get paid more money than me. Mm-hmm. So according to the article in Health Day, factors that can lead to negative experiences include meetings that could have been handled by email. I love that one. Like, why don't you just send me an email? I work for you. Tell me I got to do this. Here's what we're doing now. All righty?
See, that can work to a point, though. You can't just spit out a longly worded email with all the changes that you need to implement in a certain, faction of whatever it is the business is doing, and then just expect it to be like, done, okay. Well, agreed. I sent out the email.
I'll agree with you on that. So, again, there are those things where why did we all need to sit down and spend a half hour on this with the pleasantries and, I saw your Facebook post. Now it's 7 minutes into the meeting and we haven't started the meeting and whatever. And it was something simple
Still waiting
enough.
for Jerry to show up too,
So to your point, though, right, what if you have questions? Then you get the death email chain of reply to all. Does this apply to this? The quick thing back. No, if you actually read the email that we sent, it's actually here. So I grant you, that's not the case for all of them. But there are those where you wonder, like, why did we have a whole sit-down for this? Just send on the deets. Okay, another factor that can lead to negative experiences include unclear or irrelevant agendas. Why did we have this meeting? Like, we get in there, and you've heard that, too, the sort of brainstorm by committee.
Yes.
Where we get in there, and we're talking about the company event that's coming up next week. And then it's, I think we should have a petting zoo. Where did this come from? No, we were on a track. Like, what was the agenda? What is it that we're deciding? Another factor, poor facilitation or meetings that run over allotted time. Hey, we need to sit down just for a quick half hour, whatever, we'll get you out back to work. And then that doesn't happen, and that half hour drags into 45 minutes, and then you're at the top of the hour, and you're like, geez.
That is a skill, to be able to control a tightly efficient meeting.
And then those meetings which end with no clear decisions made. Also a frustration. Like, all right, we got together, we all spit out a bunch of ideas, but we're...
Yeah, how further along are we now?
45 minutes later, where are we?
Right.
Like, how do we march out of here and execute the plan, or is there one? Recommendation, then, in the article based on this study, keeping meetings small, focused, and goal-driven can help prevent these hangovers. So if you're going to meet, like, have an idea, where is it that we want to go, what do we want to accomplish in this, and keep that group as small as it needs to be.
The meeting?
Yes.
Can't have large 20-person meetings.
If 7 people are going to make the decision on this ultimately, have those 7. Don't invite everybody else.
No one else.
Or I'll put it this way. If your job is so easy and vacant of actual duties to perform, do us a favor. Just enjoy that. Don't include me in all of your meetings to keep yourself busy, is what, people who work at other places would say.
No more meetings! No more meetings! No more meetings!
News about your money this morning in the WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. Dow Jones Industrial Average. Here are the tough numbers. Down more than 2%, 890 points to 41,912. The NASDAQ closed off 4%, down 728 points to 17,468. S&P 500 at 5615. That was down 2.7%. Financial planning at every level. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Details at annexwealth.com.
Heart disease won't stop us. Diabetes won't slow us down. Allergies, high blood pressure, shoulder pain, cancer. Nothing will keep us from pushing Wisconsin ahead. Because with the Freighter and the Medical College of Wisconsin Health Network, forward progress is what we stand for. That means always pushing and always innovating. With new technologies and breakthrough treatments that make life better, whether we're sick or well. It means providing more convenience and more ways to receive medical excellence for all your health needs, for big and small. It means being there for you, our family, caring for yours. So let's keep raising the bar. Let's keep testing the limits of what medicine can do. Let's push ahead and make life here as great as it can be. Visit Freighter.com to find out how.
Hey, this is WTMJ's Steve Scavini for Heiser Automotive. I love talking about Heiser. Just picked up a 2023 pre-owned with very low mileage Chevy Silverado 1500 LT, beautiful glacier blue. Love it. Looks fantastic. It's got a black cloth interior. Every time I get in this truck, I say, that is amazing. 8-speed automatic transmission. Awesome mileage MPG for a truck. 24 city. Get this, 29 highway. Towing capacity. Payload is big. All the things you love about Heiser. Here's what I love about Heiser. All the great programs. Whether you're talking a pre-owned or new. Safe and Sound program, right? Vehicle exchange program, right? Love it or exchange it. Valid on new or pre-owned vehicles, which is what I was talking about. Purchase or lease for the comfort of your own home. Roadside assistance for life. All the things you love about Heiser is all the reasons why they say every day and why I always tell people at Heiser Automotive, today's your day.
6:30. I'm Vince Vitrano on Wisconsin's Morning News. Tuesday, March 11th, our top story. Child exploitation charges in Walworth County.
I'm Erik Bilstad. The hottest ticket in town is the airport.
I'm Debbie Lazaga. You're looking good out on the roads. Not seeing really any delays around the area. No incidents either. Everything is rolling along just fine. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Falling temperatures today, already at our high of 49 degrees. We'll be in the upper 30s by late this afternoon. Partly cloudy and a low down to 32 tonight. Again, our temperature in Milwaukee, 49.
ABC News, I'm Sherry Preston. The top U.S. and Ukrainian officials are in Saudi Arabia for talks on ending the war. The Ukrainians proposing a mutual pause on long-range strikes from the air and the sea. Market futures are higher this morning following their worst day in 2.5 years. Investors worried about a possible recession amid a growing trade war. Here's ABC's Rachel Scott.
The president has said that he is not using Wall Street to dictate his decisions, but when he imposed tariffs on Canadian and Mexican goods earlier this month, the stock market did take a hit. The president reversed course and paused many of them. Overnight, Republican Senator Rand Paul saying that when the stock market is tumbling in response to tariffs, it pays to listen.
Former Philippine strongman President Rodrigo Duterte has been arrested at the Manila airport. He's accused of crimes against humanity in his crackdown on illegal drugs in the country. President Trump eyeing the territory. Parliamentary elections beginning in Greenland today. Voters choosing who they want to shape the island's future. This is ABC News.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 6:31.
From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, former Walworth County correctional officer charged now with exploiting a child. Samuel Piper faces 4 felony charges for child sexual exploitation and trafficking. Officers searched his home March 6th after getting tips from the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children. Reports of money being transferred to the children in exchange for videos or images. Now, Piper has since resigned from his position. So far, the investigation has not found any known local victims.
The state budget relies on billions of dollars in funding from the federal government. That means funding cuts from the feds could impact the current budget process here in Wisconsin. The president of the Wisconsin Policy Forum, Jason Stein, tells WTMJ spanning the state the largest programs to get the funding cuts are
Medicaid. In addition, within the Department of Health Services, there's Food Share, which is what used to be called food stamps. There's also several billion in federal funding at the University of Wisconsin that's from everything from research to student financial aid.
Now, meanwhile, Wisconsin's largest public university at risk of losing a portion of federal funding if UW fails to protect Jewish students. A letter from the U.S. Department of Education listing UW-Madison among 60 colleges and universities warned about the possible loss of funds. In 2024, pro-Palestinian student encampments led to fear among some Jewish students. UW-Madison right now has 2 open Title 11 investigations. And against it, alleging violations relating to anti-Semitic harassment and discrimination.
One more pharmacy to close in southeast Wisconsin. The CVS is going to close its location at 92nd and Greenfield in West Dallas in April. Prescriptions will be transferred to another location. Company previously closed that location at Villard and Tetonia in Milwaukee back in January. Now, company officials with CVS are confirming to WTMJ that there are no additional closures planned for the state in the immediate future.
Milwaukee Mitchell International Airport gearing up for one of its busiest travel periods of the year.
Airport Public Affairs and Marketing Director Harold Mester expects March 22nd and 29th to be the busiest spring break travel days.
We're going to have 28 flights on each of those days just to the state of Florida, plus another 11 departures to other warm weather destinations.
Mester expects roughly 350,000 seats to be occupied. Parking at the airport? Mester recommends using the MKE Smart Park app.
You can also make a reservation on there, which I highly recommend.
Greg Matzik, WTMJ News.
And airport officials still suggesting a 2-hour early arrival. So get there 2 hours before your flight time.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 6:34.
Traffic sponsored by the shower remodel experts at Kohler Services, WI.com.
Upgrade to a beautiful Kohler Luxstone shower in as little as a day or two with the shower remodel experts at Kohler Services. Visit KohlerServicesWI.com today.
Coming up, this airline is breaking this rule in its 54-year history.
We have an exciting giveaway this week on Spanning the State.
One fan will win 2 front row tickets to see the Beach Boys coming to the Riverside Theater Friday, May 23rd.
Tune in to Spanning the State this Friday.
With timeless songs that shaped music history, they continue to inspire generations.
Experience the music, the magic, the good vibrations. The Beach Boys are still making waves.
Win 2 front row tickets to the Beach Boys coming to Riverside Theater May 23rd. Tune in to Spanning the State this Friday.
For over a century, local broadcasting has evolved with the needs of the community. We move past the stigmas of opinion journalism and bring the most relevant news online, on air, and on the go. You have trusted us with your news, sports, weather, and entertainment. Trust us to keep moving with you. Text radio to 52886 and tell Congress local broadcasting is here to stay.
Wisconsin is as hard-working of a place as you'll ever find. There's a sense of pride, community, and work ethic that's second to none. People here are tough, but even the toughest among us need help after a serious accident. At Gruber Law Offices, we won't stop fighting for you and your family. We've been here and will continue to be here for as long as you need us. Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
At Uline, the prevailing opinion is, if you don't live it, you don't believe it. The people at Uline believe in hard work, and they live it by being there 24/7 to answer your call, having 41,000 items in stock, and offering same-day shipping from 12 locations across North America. Business owners, sellers, buyers, shippers, and packers believe it. Uline is the hard-working, dependable source for your shipping and industrial supplies. Visit uline.com.
This week's Home Improvement Showcase is sponsored by Yutka Fence, keeping families and homes safe by protecting what you love most.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 6:37.
Brewers are poised to sign a couple of guys. They're not the guys you were hoping for. That's in sports at 6:45.
New this morning, Southwest Airlines will break with its 54-year history, saying that starting in May, not everyone will be able to check 2 bags for free. It's a perk which will now be reserved for select customers only.
One airline analyst we talked to had said making a change to its checked bag fee will not be without risk. The airline CEO told us last September, 97% of flyers knew about their bags fly free policy, and it was one of the top reasons people booked with them. The airline has also not said what a checked bag will cost. Sources tell us they plan to be competitive with other airlines.
That's Chris Van Cleve from CBS News. So Rapid Awards A-list preferred members will be able to have the checked bags for free, but
I don't even know if that includes me. I don't know. You know, you get the is that everybody who gets the miles, or is that miles plus other stuff?
It's a special. Right. You got to be a special class for that. So how does this look for other airline industry analysts? Well, Henry Hartvelt had this to say.
These changes destroy Southwest's 54 years of putting customers first and providing the best value in the sky.
Okay, I'm not sure if I understand what he means there. Hold on.
This is how you destroy a brand. This is how you destroy customer preference. This is how you destroy loyalty. And this, I think, is going to send Southwest into a financial tailspin.
I wish Henry would be more direct with this. I'm not sure if he means it's not going to work.
We are watching an airline self-destruct.
Okay, that sounds like sounds like
I'm not sure where he stands on
not
this.
sure if he
though.
likes this.
You are telling almost all of your customers your business doesn't matter to us anymore.
All right,
My
Henry.
goodness.
Henry, we got it.
He is really mad. I guess he's not one of those Super Plus members.
Apparently, he's not. He's going to be paying for his bags, it sounds like.
6:30 on Wisconsin's Morning News.
I think that Southwest is feeling pressure from its board and one of its largest shareholders to make money and make money fast.
Get the help you need Saturday morning with How To Radio. At 7, it's the WTMJ Fix It Show with David Nason, featuring this week's guest, Comfort Awnings and Siding Unlimited. At 9, plan your dream vacation with the Fox World Travel Show. And at 10, get financial guidance during Money Talk. Contact Annex Wealth Management for an unbiased review of your investments at annexwealth.com. How To Radio, Saturday mornings on WTMJ.
Tell Jeff you want to see it in person. Vince Vitrano here for USA Insulation. These are the folks with the premium injection foam that fills up your walls and starts saving you money from day one. Jeff and his team can show you a demo reel at the Realtors Home and Garden Show March 21st through the 30th at Wisconsin State Fair Park. Look for Jeff and his team at booth number 910. Ask Jeff how the focus on energy and the Inflation Reduction Act can cut the cost of your insulation project in half. And then tell Jeff Vinny told you to ask about free financing on your project for up to 72 months. Check them out at the Realtors Home and Garden Show this month or get started now at USA Insulation. That's usainsulation.net.
Restaurant prices are soaring, but not at the Mine Shaft Restaurant in Hartford. WTMJ's John Mercure here, one of my favorite places, family-owned for almost 50 years. I took my daughters there. Great memories. It's super affordable, and it's so much fun. Every Tuesday, the authentic Mexican buffet is all you can eat, and it's just $9.99. It's the best Tuesday dining value, $9.99. Kids 5 and under eat free today from that kids menu. They can safely play in the world-class game room, quietly tucked away from the dining area while you finish up your meal. Stop today after school. Check this out. The Wednesday all-you-can-eat fish fry is just $7.99. Whoa! That's crazy. From 2 till 5 today, beers, cocktails, and appetizers are half price. The Mine Shaft in beautiful downtown Hartford and just off Highway 41 in Oshkosh, right near EAA. Walk in today for the Tuesday all-you-can-eat Mexican buffet for under $10. MineShaftRestaurant.com. It's the amazing Mine Shaft.
At 6:41, morning drive update. Hi, Debbie.
Hey there. Still looking great out there right now. We're not seeing any incidents. Also, no slowdowns, although volume's probably picking up a little bit. But nothing major to slow you down, so we're in good shape. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
The WTMJ 5-day forecast. Temperatures will be out their warmest this morning in the 40s. Will fall into the 30s this afternoon. Mostly sunny skies and breezy winds out of the northeast. Tonight, partly cloudy, low temperatures falling into the lower 30s. Then for Wednesday, mostly sunny skies, high temperatures lakeside in the mid-40s, getting into the lower 50s inland. Thursday, partly cloudy, still staying quiet. Lakeside areas warm near 50, inland spots into the upper 50s. Friday, partly cloudy, breezy with some storms rolling in Friday night. High temperatures will be back to being spring-like, lower 60s by the lake, lower 70s inland. Saturday, we'll look at the chance for some scattered showers after some overnight storms roll through Friday night. High temperatures falling into the 50s for the first half of the weekend. I'm meteorologist Tyler Moore, the Storm Team forecast on WTMJ.
Milwaukee already at our high of 49 degrees. Weather certainly got nice in a hurry, though. Update on a major construction project that is back underway this morning.
Happening today.
Southern Bypass 894, also known as Interstate 41, also known as Interstate 43. All things are true. They all sort of converge in the southern part of Milwaukee County. That stretch of freeway between the Hale and the Mitchell interchanges. Construction back on This is the beginning of the end.
Now, what we're going to do, we're going to shut down 16 miles of traffic in both ways.
End is in sight, I promise.
Sure feels like
The
that.
multi-season project due to wrap up soon. Work resuming today on the shoulders. They did the median wall and then like the left 3 lanes, many of the exit and entrance ramps as well in the 2024 construction season. So for the next several months, they've got things moved over toward the center. It's been that way through the winter, and as they work to finish the job on the edges. So expect ramp and lane closures to begin next week, kind of on and off. The whole thing should be wrapped up given the weather and how quickly they can move to, quote, completion in summer of 2025. And summer's a long period, so that could be July, it could be late August, depending. What are you seeing you're on the other side. You've got the 41 north of the Zoo interchange.
Yeah, so they just started rolling out the barrels. They've been doing it down to 1 lane.
Oh, barrels guy's been active.
So today the southbound lanes were down to 1 lane overnight, and they were pulling the barrels about an hour or 2 ago. So should be clear for the morning drive, right, Deb?
Yeah, exactly.
And 43 it's targeted for completion in 2050? north of Milwaukee.
Feels like it, doesn't it? No, by the end of the summer, actually.
Okay, boy. Lanes are going to be luxurious when we're all said and done.
This right here is where we're going to start a new 9-year project. Boss, that's a pothole. Hell yeah, it's a pothole. Gonna take 9 years to fix that? It's a big deal.
Hi, I'm Jim Token, president of the Auto Dealers of Metro Milwaukee. Did you know that Adam members employ more than 7,500 people? Plus, Adam recently completed their 14th annual Feeding America Change Your Oil promotion. To date, Adam has donated over $875,000, which provided over 2.6 million meals. Start your next car search by finding an Adam member dealer at adam.com. That's ADAMM.com.
Tired of looking at that same old garage door? It's the biggest door to your house. It makes the biggest impression. It terms a curb appeal. And we've got an opportunity for you to transform the look of your home for $0. Lifetime Door Company giving you a chance to win a free garage door plus free installation. The whole package valued at up to $8,000. All you need to do to enter is text GARAGE to the WTMJ Talk and Text line, which is 855-616-1620. Or you're in the car, you don't have time to do it right now, that's fine. Go to WTMJ.com. You'll see it right there on the very front of our website. On our page, just click on the Lifetime Door Contest. You enter your name, a little bit of information, and you're set to go. You are entered to win. Do it today, and maybe you like the garage door you have in your home. You're fine with it. But you know a friend, neighbor across the street, you're tired of staring at that guy's ugly garage door, just casually mention, hey, here's a little something you might want to do. Free contest. I'm not saying, I'm just saying. Pass it on. For contest rules, visit our website, WTMJ.com.
Time for an update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Sports Desk.
Packers making some moves in free agency here, though nothing official yet. ESPN Wisconsin's Jason Wilde among those, reporting the team is poised to sign 2 free agents. Cornerback, last with the Raiders, Nate Hobbs, and offensive lineman, guard Aaron Banks, who did not come to terms with the 49ers in this offseason. Friend of the program, ESPN's Mark Tauscher, understanding fans may have been looking for a bigger splash on offense, but
this means it's going to be a lot of Tucker Kraft and a lot of let's get the Romeo Dobbs, let's get these young guys. That's not what Packer fans are going to want to hear, but it was always going to be these guys need to get a lot better. That was where the most growth for this offense was going to be, is the guys that are here when you couldn't pull off the big one, whether it was DK Metcalf, Devontae, or any of these other guys.
NFL's 2025 season officially begins Wednesday afternoon, so you would look for official word for the Packers on the new guys at some point tomorrow. But to Tausch's point, like we wanted that big number 1 wide receiver, we wanted whatever, and he is suggesting that Brian Gutekunst, the general manager, is looking at this saying, here's our plan on that front at least. The guys we got level up. They're a year better, not a year older. And we're going to add some other people around them to help the team.
What'd you do on your 21st birthday? Or better yet, what had you accomplished when you turned 21? Well, if you're Jackson Churio, you've played a whole season in the bigs. You were the youngest player ever to have 20 homers and 20 steals in a season. You got votes for Rookie of the Year and NL MVP. But you're not Jackson Churio.
You are not.
Happy birthday, by the way, to the kid who turned 21 today. By the way, it was MLB Network Day in Maryvale on Monday, so like all the crew were there, Mark DeRosa and all those guys talking to the club. And they asked Churio how important it was to be playing in the postseason last year. Through an interpreter, he said, This is what he said.
It's a beautiful moment, and to be honest, it's just an experience that I just want to be able to replicate as many times as possible, and just to continue and have more moments like those.
Sounds good to us, young man. You go ahead and do that.
Live in stereo with my main man Jackson Cheerio.
Got Bucks tonight. Bucks play the Pacers, and Indiana played last night, so you better capitalize. This is the second of a back-to-back for them. So Bucks and Pacers, 6:30 our coverage at 6 p.m. right here on WTMJ. And finally, I don't know if you saw this event. Listen close. Oh, that's a crowd reacting to a track star hitting another girl with her baton during the 2x4. It happened during a race in Virginia, high school race. She hit the other player, but now that girl says she didn't do it for real.
My baton got stuck behind her back like this, and it rolled up her back. I lost my balance, and when I pumped my arms again, she got hit.
Yeah, that high school junior claims that she didn't really attack the other player on the track when they were running past each other when she beat her in the head with the baton.
I know my intentions, and I would never hit somebody on purpose.
This is one of those incidents where you're being told one thing, but your eyes won't lie to you if you watch the video.
It really looks like she wound up and cracked her in the dome.
The girl who was hit suffered a concussion and actually really is just asking for an apology. The girl who hit her was disqualified from the race.
So she was not asking for an explanation of how I didn't really intentionally crack your head.
Right. No.
That's not what she was asking for.
Just want to know, what are you doing? Why'd happen? And maybe not do that again.
You don't. It's hard to look at that, but as she suggests, it's one angle. And it's impossible to know what's in the heart or mind of someone, however, right? Just the sight test.
Right. It sure looks like she was getting blown past. This girl was racing right past her, and she bopped her right in the head.
6:49 on Wisconsin's Morning News.
So close you can smell the rubber on their shoes. Okay, maybe not that close, but as close as you can get. Bucks Insiders on Wisconsin's Midday News with Greg Matzik and Jessica Ty.
Here's a pass inside to Giannis. Giannis guides it through as he took the feed from Lillard, his second assist to Giannis.
It's Bucks Insiders every Thursday at 12:35. Sponsored by Best Electric and Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin.
WTMJ's Vince Vitrano for Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. I have breaking news from Gina Della herself. Got a message from Gina on Monday. She went to work with their banking partners at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin to add a few more days to the incredible offer that was supposed to end just days ago. So here it is. You can take up to 6 years to pay off your brand new Pella Windows and Doors at 0% interest on your financing. So you got Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. You're getting the stunning windows, the stunning doors. You also get the Pella experience. Quality control with Pella, controlling every part of it. They manufacture the product, they sell it, they install it, and they do the service. You get a 10-year labor warranty that's always included. So you know your windows and doors, if you should ever have any issue, it is secure and going to be taken care of. Expert installers work year-round. They just did our install for our front door and a couple of windows in as little as a day, did it in less than a day, and they did it in the middle of winter. So they will work whenever you can get that work done. If something ever goes wrong, you call Pella because they're the only ones you've been doing business with. Why wait? Get the Pella experience and this incredible deal, 0% interest on your financing for up to 6 years, and the deal extended to March 13th. Set your free in-home consultation today at PellaWY.com.
The Census Bureau says more than 12,000 Americans turn 65 each day. It's a surge they call Peak 65, the highest number in history. Some Annex clients retire early. Some keep working because they love it. You know why? Because they've got custom plans built by fee-only fiduciaries. They identified their wants and needs, and we went to work. We want to do the same for you. Annex does financial planning at every level. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Visit AnnexWealth.com and click the Get Started button.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
Any trouble on the roads this morning, Deb?
Well, volume's definitely starting to pick up around the area, so just starting to see a few taps on the brakes. Eastbound 94 from about Mitchell Boulevard all the way through to about 35th Street. Other than that, the volume is definitely picking up. A lot more cars out there, but everybody's rolling along relatively well. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Mostly sunny skies today. Already at a high temperature of 49 degrees. We'll see falling temperatures this afternoon into the upper 30s. Tonight's low down to 32. Mostly sunny on Wednesday, high 45 at the lake, 53 inland. It is 6:52. Interesting conversation friend of the program, Lori Nickel, had the other day. She's been covering the Wisconsin Badgers, and the story is about basketball, but it's not really about basketball. It's about college in general. And, Erik and I were going through this as our teens have been looking all over the universe for where they want to go to school, right? And the Badgers entering the Big Ten tournament this season in much better shape than predicted. One of the bright spots this season.
Meanwhile, Tanjay with a fadeaway triple.
FS1 on the call. John Tanjay. And Lori, he's one of these transfer portal guys that just came to UW. This is his third school now here in Wisconsin?
Right. He's also one of these pandemic kids. They got special allowances, the kids who went through that period where they could go and play another season because they missed so much during the COVID lockout. So he started out his first 3 years at Colorado State, then he entered the transfer portal, then he played 8 games at Missouri and asked for, and he got hurt. And so he asked for a special exception to transfer again. And he came to Madison, and the whole family has fallen in love with the University of Wisconsin, so much so that his Nebraska minister mother has moved from Nebraska to Madison to become a Presbyterian pastor now in Madison.
So why is it working out so well in Wisconsin for him, for this family?
I had a chance to talk to her Saturday on senior day, and she said that, the adults are in charge here at the University of Wisconsin. And she said, we've been on a few recruiting trips. And I'm like, yes, I'm sure you have, more than anybody. But so there's the university aspect of it. And Wisconsin really has always had a great reputation for that. But there's also the lifestyle factor. John Tanjay likes to go for walks, even though he's a basketball player and he's on his feet all the time. He does 20,000 steps a day. So he'll do the 2-hour walk from his apartment by the Kohl Center out to the Point. A lot of Madison people know where that is.
Mm-hmm.
It's a picnic point area. And he'll walk back. He has no groceries, according to mom, in the house, so he has to always walk somewhere to go get his food. He loves the atmosphere of the city. He's getting his master's degree. He's already got his undergraduate degree. And Sarah, the mom, had an interesting thing. She said, all you want for your kids is to have that mountaintop moment. And for her, that wasn't about basketball necessarily. It was about finding a place where you belong and where you can actually grow.
It's interesting, Lord, to think about, because we often will hear about, transfer portal, and these people are moving here, and these kids are transferring there, and all these different sports, and you forget that there are families and parents involved in all of this too, and the stress and anxiety that has to come with that.
Right, and not every kid who enters the transfer portal is running from something or got banished from the team. We are in a very strange era of college athletics right now. I mean, there are too many kids transferring, and there's too many issues. However, we do need to remember that the kids who went through the pandemic really had an entire year of their lives stripped from them. So he's part of that thing. And then, yes, when the family is on board and supports you, I'll tell you, that was a cool experience to be on the court and to see those parents. And his brother came, one of his brothers came, and his sister-in-law. When you have the whole family surrounding you to walk on the court and to be embraced by fans and stuff like that, it shows. And even Coach Gard at the end said, make sure you thank all the families and your parents and the people who got you here. That's what's so important. It's the support of the families and the encouragement. And they have to make sacrifices too.
Well, it's so interesting too. Like, take it outside of sports. So many people listening right now, you don't have a D1 athlete for your kid, but at some point here and we're going through this now, Lori, Erik, and me, like when you're 17 or 18 deciding this is where you have to be for the next 4 years or 5 years based on one campus visit and maybe some of the financials and whether or not you know a friend or two going there. And, the opportunity to evolve that decision as you mature or your life changes.
Don't you think college is really just practicing for life? I mean, it's a very expensive practice. But yes, that's part of it. I try to I speak to kids in college and high school all the time, and I'm like, stop putting pressure on yourself to think you have it all figured out right now. and not everybody knows exactly what they're going to major in. But for athletes in particular, when coaches change or when the rosters change, there should be some freedom allowed. But yes, for the non-student athletes too, I mean, there's something to sticking through the tough times too, and staying in one place for sure. But you always have another option to move on. And look at John Tonje when he's playing in the Big Ten tournament this week. He's having a great year. He's having the best year of his entire career.
And glad he's doing it here. Thanks, Lori. Always great to catch up.
Thank you, Lori.
Thanks, guys, so much. Take care.
These are your business headlines from the Milwaukee Business Journal.
Washington County Executive Josh Schoeman envisions a community space for the former University of Wisconsin-Milwaukee Washington campus. Schoeman wants the 80-acre property and 200,000-square-foot building to be revitalized into a multi-purpose facility called the Washington County Social Capital. Harley-Davidson introduces its most expensive motorcycle ever. The new model, the CVO Road Glide RR, has a $110,000 price tag. A People's Park restaurant is coming to downtown Milwaukee. The restaurant will fill the Flannery space at 425 East Wells Street. No date has been decided for a possible opening. I'm Logan Hans from MilwaukeeBusinessJournal.com on 620 WTMJ.
Things are getting even cheaper at Fleet Farm during Chick Days, March 6th through the 12th. We've got the most popular poultry breeds, all at the best prices guaranteed. Plus, get great deals on other chickening needs too, like 20% off Little Giant feeders and waterers. 40 pounds of Nature-Wise protein crumble is on sale for $16.99. And Kamek and Tamarack boots for the coop are all 25% off. Eggers, Leghorns, Reds. Now's the best time to get them during Fleet Farm Chick Days.
Wherever you are in Wisconsin, there's a free and confidential Aging and Disability Resource Center, ADRC, or Tribal Partner Agency. We're here for older adults, adults with disabilities, and your families. ADRCs are a bridge to support for benefits and financial assistance, transportation, in-home care, and more. Get to know your local ADRC and connect with resources today. Call toll-free 1-844-WIS-ADRC or go to findmyadrc.org. Paid for by the Wisconsin Department of Health Services.
Junior Achievement of Wisconsin has had business technology from James Imaging Systems for several years. Lori Salzman, Vice President of Enterprise Services, explains why.
We started with the document imaging, and I have to say that the service and support has been fantastic.
James Imaging Systems, a 100% Wisconsin-owned and managed business technology company.
I've never met an organization that is so responsive to make sure that we are up and running all the time for us to be more efficient and allow us to focus more on the work that we do for helping young people.
Lori, what's your recommendation to others that aren't getting that kind of attention from their business technology company?
Please call James Imaging because they will work with you to make sure that you find a solution that can make you more efficient and productive.
Make the call, 262-781-7700, or visit jamesimaging.com. James Imaging Systems, your local business technology partner.
Built Right. One location saves you money.
The Bucks are ready to speed past the Pacers in Indiana.
Torian Prince inside. Puts the shot up, missed it short. Giannis gets it back, and he slams it down with a two-hand jam as he rocks the rim on another dunk.
Our coverage starts tonight at 6 on your home for the Bucks. News Radio 620 WTMJ, Milwaukee.
7:01, I'm Vince Vitrano on Wisconsin's Morning News. Tuesday, March 11th, our top story, a warning issued to UW-Madison.
I'm Erik Bilstad, keeping an eye on Wall Street.
I'm Debbie Lazaga. Eastbound on 94. We got some backups basically from 84th Street to about Hawley Road. Northbound 43 is backing up just a little pockets north of North Avenue up towards Capitol Drive. Other than that, rolling along pretty well just with the heavier volume. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Storm team forecast for today. Temperatures falling into the upper 30s by this afternoon. Partly cloudy and a low down to 32 tonight. Right now at 48 degrees in Milwaukee. And from the WTMJ Breaking News Center, UW-Madison among 60 universities across the country in danger of losing federal funding. if UW fails to protect Jewish students on campus.
A letter sent to the school Monday warns of potential enforcement actions if UW-Madison does not fulfill obligations under Title VI of the Civil Rights Act to protect Jewish students on campus. UW-Madison is the only Wisconsin university on that list. The letter comes almost a year after a pro-Palestinian encampment formed on the campus. Meanwhile, UW-Madison has 2 open Title VI investigations against it, alleging violations relating to anti-Semitic harassment and discrimination. Adam Roberts, WTMJ News.
Federal funding uncertainty is leaving questions as state lawmakers draft the state budget. Proposal and plan being discussed right now, but the president of the Wisconsin Policy Forum, Jason Stein, isn't sounding the alarms quite yet.
These programs, by and large, are outlined in statute at the federal level. There's certainly some things that are competitive funding, or it's not to say that nothing could be withdrawn, and some things probably will be withdrawn. Most of these big marquee programs like Medicaid, they're in statute.
Stein, a guest on WTMJ Spanning the State. If in Governor Evers' proposal, $18 billion of the $59 billion come from federal funding.
5 Madison people, including 2 UW-Madison students, without a place to stay. Flames at fire in their home, second floor into the third. Firefighters said they experienced a fire attack when they were trying to contain the flames. Took them about 40 minutes to put it out. American Red Cross providing assistance to everyone who needs help.
News about your money. Futures are up at the moment as we await the bell on Wall Street later this morning. President Trump set to address a gathering of business leaders today. It'll be his first public comment since the steep stock market drop on Monday, which was brought on after the president declined to rule out a recession over the weekend. CBS correspondent Derek Waller.
All eyes on Wall Street this morning after stocks tumbled once again Monday. The White House downplaying those steep losses.
I think that we're pretty close to having the uncertainty behind us.
Meanwhile, China slapped new retaliatory tariffs on U.S. agricultural products, and the Premier of Ontario, Canada, added a 25% surcharge on electricity exports to 3 states, prompting the president to respond on social media, writing, "We don't need your energy."
Canada not reacting lightly to President Trump's 25% tariffs on imports. The Minister of Economic Development for Ontario saying that he was recently on the campaign trail, going door to door, telling Wisconsin's Afternoon News he's never seen the country more united.
Every single door, they told me the same thing, that they now, when they go to a grocery store, they turn every label around to make sure that the product was not made in the United States. Or they told me that they're canceling their trips to Florida or anywhere in the United States.
Ontario alone set to lose about 250,000 jobs due to U.S. tariffs.
In Saudi Arabia right now, high-stakes talks between senior officials from Ukraine and the U.S. on how to end Kyiv's 3-year war with Russia. They're talking about it in this meeting. It came hours after Russian air defenses shot down more than 300 Ukrainian drones over 10 regions in Russia overnight.
Coming up, life lessons from a Milwaukee author. Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 7:05.
Hi, I'm Tony Drake from Drake & Associates. If you're in or near retirement, you're facing one of the biggest financial decisions of your life. When to take Social Security? Should you claim it now or wait for a bigger benefit? The wrong decision could cost you tens of thousands of dollars in lost income. And once you lock in your choice, there's no do-over. The truth is, Social Security is more complicated than most people think. The age you file, your marital status, other income sources, all of it impacts how much you'll receive. And in today's economy with rising costs and uncertainty about future benefits, you need to make every dollar count. At Drake & Associates, we help hardworking Americans make smart decisions about retirement. Income is just one stop on your retirement-ready roadmap, and we'll help you navigate every turn so you can maximize your benefits and keep more of what you earned. Don't make this decision blindly. Get the facts and a plan today. Text SS to 414-897-9522 to claim your free retirement toolkit and a copy of my book, Get Retirement Ready. Inside, you'll learn strategies to help optimize your Social Security, reduce taxes, and create a retirement income plan that works for you. But don't wait. These resources are only available while supplies last. Secure your future today. Text SS to 414-897-9522. Drake & Associates, helping you retire with confidence.
Drake & Associates LLC is an independent investment advisory firm that offers a variety of different investment vehicles. This commercial is provided for informational purposes only and should not be construed as individual investment advice. Drake & Associates LLC does not provide legal or tax advice. Past performance is not indicative of future performance.
Celebrate a birthday, anniversary, or retirement this week with a free dinner at the historic Fox and Hounds restaurant near Holy Hill. Buy one dinner, get one free, 7 nights a week. Google Fox and Hounds restaurant and enjoy your free dinner.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time 7:08.
So Mark Tauscher was on this year's program less than 24 hours ago with a bold prediction that appears has already come true. Do it in sports at 7:15.
Another CVS pharmacy is shutting down in southeast Wisconsin. This one near 92nd and Greenfield in West Dallas. It'll shut down in April. The company previously closed the location at Villard and Teutonia in Milwaukee back in January. Now, the company is confirming to WTMJ there are no additional closures planned for the immediate future.
Spring break coming up, key component to a very busy month at Milwaukee Mitchell International Airport.
We're expecting to see about 350,000 departing seats. Most of those will be occupied.
Airport Public Affairs and Marketing Director Harold Mester anticipates March 22nd and 29th to be the busiest travel days.
We're going to have 28 flights on each of those days just to the state of Florida.
Another 11 flights will travel to warm weather destinations in Mexico, the Caribbean, and Arizona. Parking at the airport? Mester recommends using the MKE Smart Park app. Greg Matzik, WTMJ News.
New book just released Monday gives life lessons for public safety professionals. The author is a guy from Milwaukee.
Alec Wands wrote Resilience Beyond Duty after talking with public safety professionals for his podcast, The Chief Exchange.
You hear life lessons of how do you take better care of your health? How do you manage your relationships better?
The Milwaukee man collected all that wisdom and wrote a Cliff Notes version for the reader. The book has 153 bite-sized lessons.
They said if you write a book for a population like us, it either has to be really short and or have pictures. And I am horrible at drawing.
100% of the profits will go to charity. Jessica Ty, WTMJ News.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 7:09.
The Beach Boys, the Sounds of Summer Tour. Friday, May 23rd at the Riverside Theater. The music, the memories, the Beach Boys, riding an endless summer wave. Get tickets now at PabstTheaterGroup.com. Don't miss the Beach Boys, the Sounds of Summer Tour, live.
No matter how many people are in your family, buying new jackets for the cold weather months can be expensive. But when you shop St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores, prices on cold weather jackets will give you a sigh of relief because thrift store prices mean great deals. And right now we have a great selection. Find great deals on cold weather jackets for the family at St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores on Highway 100 in Layton and Greenfield, 23rd in Lincoln, and 76th and Bradley Road in Milwaukee.
You're gonna love it, St. Vincent de Paul.
At 7:10, morning drive update. Hi, Debbie.
Hey there. Okay, still a little bit tight on eastbound 94, basically from 84th Street to about Hawley Road. The rest of the system is actually looking pretty good, so we don't have any other incidents or delays around the rest of the area, just kind of heavier volume. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
The WTMJ 5-day forecast. Temperatures will be out there warmest this morning in the 40s. Will fall into the 30s this afternoon. Mostly sunny skies and breezy winds out of the northeast. Tonight, partly cloudy, low temperatures falling into the lower 30s. Then for Wednesday, mostly sunny skies, high temperatures lakeside in the mid-40s, getting into the lower 50s inland. Thursday, partly cloudy, still staying quiet. Lakeside areas warm near 50, inland spots into the upper 50s. Friday, partly cloudy, breezy with some storms rolling in Friday night. High temperatures will be back to being spring-like, lower 60s by the lake, lower 70s inland. Saturday, we'll look at the chance for some scattered showers after some overnight storms roll through Friday night. High temperatures falling into the 50s for the first half of the weekend. I'm meteorologist Tyler Moore, the Storm Team forecast on WTMJ.
Milwaukee at 48 degrees.
Live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios at the Avenue in downtown Milwaukee, this is Wisconsin's Morning News. Here are your hosts, Vince Vitrano and Erik Bilstad.
This morning, the opening bell on Wall Street just an under hour and a half away. Markets coming off their single worst day of the year.
Happening today.
Will things slide further? Will we stop the bleeding? maybe some buyback. Investors seeing opportunity. Dow and S&P 500 both dropped more than 2% Monday. The NASDAQ hardest hit at 4% drop. If you're retiring in 20 years, just look away. You're good, right? If you're on a fixed income, you're living off in part your investments, or you thought you were close to retiring, but now this new math not working out. Much bigger deal. I think about this, well, in part because we're in it. Parents and grandparents with college savings plans.
Oof.
Their young ones' accounts could be worth thousands of dollars less this morning than they were at the end of last week. So that's where you feel it. On to the broader effects on the U.S. economy.
The consumer has been the pillar of this economy, continuing to spend despite it all, high inflation, higher interest rates. If that starts to pull back and the job market starts to weaken, and some economists are saying because of Trump's policies on deportation and the government layoffs, we could see a big pullback in the job market, and that's when the economy may pull back enough to dip us into a recession.
So recession, word that was uttered out loud by President Trump over the weekend, which sort of caused all of this to some degree. ABC's Alexis Christopherson reporting there. The important question is there any way to bring down inflation, which Americans have complained about, without experiencing the pain of a recession, or at least something that resembles it? Like, how do you stop inflation if you don't pull back? You just heard Christopherson say Americans have continued spending.
Yeah.
So prices were going up, and we just kept buying stuff.
It's been like that for years.
Right. The more prices go up, the more prices go up.
Yeah.
So the open question is, can we get a retraction on that without going into a recession? What's causing all this? The escalating trade war, of course. President Trump arguing America is getting ripped off by unfair trade, countries that tariff our exports, but we're not responding in kind. You can go back and forth on who started what when this morning, but what does it matter at this point? We're where we are. So right now, this is only involving a few of our biggest trade partners.
I think other countries aren't going to stand still. They're going to respond. So if we put tariffs on their goods, they're going to put tariffs on our goods. The Chinese have done that. The Canadians are pretty angry, as we can see from what happened over the last couple of days. They're going to do the same thing.
I like that the Canadians are pretty angry. It's Mark Zandi from Moody's there. The report that was in the top of the hour about the trade minister from Canada saying, well, I've talked to people, I'm going door to door, they're turning over labels saying, I'm not buying stuff from America, right? And to what extent that's real,
right.
Okay, but there is some of that. So even if you agree with the president that setting up the economy for long-term growth will cause this short-term pain, uncertainty reigns this morning as we watch for the response on Wall Street.
We should point out futures right now are up, and Market Watch says the Dow Industrials are queuing up a modest comeback. We'll see, of course, still an hour before the bell.
I'd accept a stop to the bleeding, right?
Yes, please put pressure on it.
During the transfiguration of Jesus, Peter said that they should set up 3 tents on the mountain. Peter wanted to stay in that moment. This is Archbishop Jeffrey Grubb. We also can get stuck focusing on the wrong things we don't want to change. During this Jubilee year, the Holy Father has asked us to be signs of hope for others. With hope, we see that we can change. As we begin this Lent, let us each use our gifts and talents to show the world that change and hope are possible in Jesus. Please join us at Mass.
Find furniture for life from Ken Michaels Furniture in Brookfield, Greenfield, or downtown Milwaukee.
Acumen Mortgage is an equal housing lender. NMLSConsumerAccess.org, number 255368.
Don't settle for a flimsy bank pre-approval. Get the pre-approval listing agents and sellers recognized as better than the rest. The rock-solid guaranteed pre-approval from Accunet. Get yours by clicking on the blue button at accunet.com.
Time for an update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Sports Desk.
Can't officially sign these guys until Wednesday when the NFL's 2025 season officially begins, but it appears Green Bay Packers have made some free agent deals. Sorry, fans. It's not for a big-name wide receiver, cornerback, and an offensive lineman. The latter, a move predicted by ESPN Wisconsin's Mark Tauscher on this here program.
Don't be shocked if it's, and this is where it gets real sexy, if it's an interior offensive lineman. That those are the guys that make the difference, and those are I think the talent you're always looking for.
ESPN Wisconsin's Jason Wilde among those reporting a deal for offensive guard Aaron Banks, free agent from the 49ers. How about Tausch?
Well done.
Talk about a boldathon. He just, hey, don't be surprised. And then
there it is.
That's the first thing I thought of this morning.
Mm-hmm.
Also picking up a defensive back last with the Raiders, Nate Hobbs. Teams can start signing these guys Wednesday afternoon.
To Phoenix in Arizona, the Brewers were the feature on MLB Network Monday night. So the MLB Network crew goes to all the different camps, spring training camps, and talks to the players from every team. Well, on Monday, they were in Maryville. They're talking to the crew and Mark DeRosa and company, talking to Christian Yelich about the team's consistent success year after year.
Is it possible that you guys won't be so under the radar this year?
I mean, I feel like we're under the radar every year, which is fine. You know, it's
been a postseason 6 of the last 7 years, and you're under the radar.
Every year, though. It's your guys' fault, probably.
Shouldn't be me.
It's probably your
Good
guys'
for you,
fault.
Yelly.
He's not wrong.
I'm not in charge of the radar.
By the way, Yelly went yard again as the Brewers beat the Mariners 7-5. They play the Cubs later today. Bucks and Pacers tonight. Indiana played last night. So this is a game you just got to win if you're the Bucks. Tip off at 6:30. Our coverage at 6 right here on WTMJ.
Temperatures falling back today in your Storm Team forecast. However, I've got a 70-plus day in the 5-day forecast. We'll talk live with Storm Team 4 Chief Meteorologist Brian Isnansky next.
While the Indiana underdogs may have won in the movie,
If you put your effort and concentration into playing to your potential, to be the best that you can be, in my book, we're going to be winners.
those Hollywood fairy tales don't work when we're in town.
Damian Lillard lets it fly again, and he is locked in right now. Damian Lillard.
The Bucks head to Indiana to take on the Pacers.
4 3-pointers.
Our Bucks radio game day coverage starts tonight at 6. We are the home of the Bucks. WTMJ.
WTMJ's Erik Bilstad here for Tri-County Contracting. How's that front door looking? Or what about that back door? That patio door that you always struggle with? Well, Tri-County Contracting can help you with that. They can get their window and door team ready to go at your place with a free estimate immediately. And they can also price out everything separately, which is so helpful when you're going through this process, trying to figure out what it is you can afford and what you want to wait on. Tri-County Contracting, WI.com. We talk about the roof and the siding all the time. There is that other aspect too. Tri-County Contracting, it's worry-free roofing, siding, and windows. It's Tri-County Contracting, WI.com.
Hi, I'm Jim Token, president of the Auto Dealers of Metro Milwaukee. Did you know that Adam members employ more than 7,500 people? Plus, Adam recently completed their 14th annual Feeding America Change Your Oil promotion. To date, Adam has donated over $875,000, which provided over 2.6 million meals. Start your next car search by finding an Adam member dealer at adam.com. That's ADAMM.com.
Checking in at 7:20 on your morning drive. What do you see, Deb?
Well, we are still seeing some delays along eastbound 94 from about 92nd Street to Holly Road. Westbound's a little bit tight coming out of the stadium interchange. Building up in volume and slowing down a bit. 41 southbound heading right past Hampton. Also northbound 43 just as you're getting to Keefe. Otherwise, everything else is looking pretty good. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
20 minutes after 7 o'clock on Wisconsin's Morning News. Break out the shorts, or at least broke them out yesterday and save them for Friday once again as we bring in Storm Team 4 Chief Meteorologist Brian Isnansky. We already at today's high, Niz?
Yeah, pretty much. Cold front sweeping through pretty much right now. Wind shifting out of the northeast. We're not going to get much warmer than this today. Maybe inland, if you're far inland and you don't have the influence as much of that northeast wind off of our beautiful waters of Lake Michigan. Maybe you squeeze back up into like maybe the middle 40s this afternoon, but lakeside locations probably stuck in the 30s this afternoon.
But then I'm looking ahead here. I mean, we'd be celebrating Thursday with a high of 50 at the lake, 58 inland. That's
Right.
what Tyler's got for you this morning. Were we not 60-plus yesterday and looking at a possible 70 on Friday?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, all perspective. It's March 11th after all. So like we're not jumping right into it yet. So, but very, very spring-like day yesterday. And it was just fantastic to see everybody out and about. But yes, you got to pinch yourself, realize that we're in March. But hey, this is perfect shorts and sweatshirt weather. You know what I mean? Like
That's a solid play. Yeah.
So Niz, we'd gotten a little bit of rain earlier, but still it was the conditions were just ripe for that brush fire, that big one in Brookfield with the wind we had, and just it's still dry enough where that kind of thing can happen.
Yeah, I agree. We've been on the edge of, like, we have all these different fire indicators by people who really specialize in this, and they're very good. Whether it's the National Weather Service, DNR, our fire danger is only moderate, and National Weather Service hasn't had anything that has gotten close to issuing us red flag warnings. Now, I think part of that equation is because we've had some recent rain and some snow melt that, the soil and the ground is still relatively squishy in spots. However, you're right. It's maybe it was underplayed. The dead winter brush, the wind that we did have, that once something got sparked, it takes off. I mean, that stuff, that dead winter dormant grass and brush, especially if it's not like a manicured like lawn, like a residential lawn, will go really, really quickly. So my advice, we're better off today with the cooler temperatures and humidity levels are up. But once we shoot back up again this weekend, like Friday, please no like outdoor burning. I know a lot of people want to start burning some leaves and stuff now. I would probably hold off on that.
Did a little grilling yesterday. That felt pretty tasty and solid.
Yeah, I was out at Lincoln Park. I didn't play around, but we wanted to get out in the storm chaser yesterday, and Lincoln Park was open along with a couple other county courses. You have to check it out, Vinny. I think I posted on the socials. I bet Susan a box of Girl Scout cookies if I could sink a putt. I nailed it.
You did not.
Yeah, it was about a 15-footer too. It was uphill, a little right to left. I was feeling pretty good about it.
Did you pump your fist, little tiger action?
A little bit, but then I called out Susan Kim's husband, Patrick. I called him out saying I'm coming for him on air. Patrick, he's posting me like a well-orchestrated Hollywood video of him sinking a putt in his basement the night.
Yeah, I would. Listen, man, I love you, but I don't think that was a good challenge for you to issue. Patrick's a pretty good golfer.
Yeah, don't poke that bear. And then next thing you know, I got to put my house up for mortgage because he's taking all my money.
Hey, wanted to ask you quick. You mentioned Friday being such a nice day, but there are storms kind of lingering. Is that something that could be nasty there Friday night?
It's very interesting setup. Yes. So, I mean, we're several days out, so we don't want to get too ahead of ourselves on promising anything. But yeah, there's going to be a super intense area of low pressure coming across the Midwest, and we find ourselves in the warm sector of this. And there's going to be some various dynamics that could come into play, which I think is the biggest wild card. I think no matter what, we're going to have this intense low. I think we're going to find ourselves in that warm sector Friday night. Now, if a couple of the other parameters come together, that could really mean the difference between whether we see, a line of showers and storms that's kind of garden variety, or whether we get some really intense, severe weathers. This will be our first chance of, that springtime thunderstorm stuff that we have to be on our toes with.
Any indication as to what sort of severe weather, spring or summer, that we're looking for, or is that more like? Is that one of those things that you can see far out?
What's the Farmer's Almanac saying about it?
Look it up.
No, it's true. Yeah, let me check that quick. No, what I'm seeing right now is a pattern that we're along this really strong temperature gradient, which is, it's typical spring. It's why spring is an active period. But I do see it above average even. So what we're getting is not just little weak systems that come across, but these really intense areas of low pressure. And the more we have those, the more we have the possibility of some pretty nasty weather. So, I could see an above average at least start to spring. And then things look to be pretty average, wise the rest, let's say we get into May and June and stuff. But as of right now, March could end up being a pretty active month for us. So we'll just have to be on our toes.
Storm Team 4 Chief Meteorologist Brian Niznansky live with us this morning. Thanks, Niz.
All right, thanks, guys. We'll see you.
That could be interesting. I mean,
no,
March
don't want interesting.
Well, I didn't mean in a good way necessarily, right? You want the warmth, you don't want the severe weather.
Yeah.
But nothing wrong with a little bit of rain either, as Niz has indicated. We certainly could use it as we move forward. News about your money this morning. WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Updates. We'll take a look at the Dow Jones Industrial Average. The futures, Eric's been monitoring that, have largely been up. Not big, but basically looking at we're going to stop the bleeding, at least when the bell rings on Wall Street about an hour from now. Where we left the Dow yesterday, down more than 2%, 890 points to 41,912. NASDAQ closed at 17,468. That was down 728 points, 4%. S&P 500 was off 2.7%, down 156 points to 5615. Financial planning at every level. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Details at annexwealth.com. Welcome to The Knowledge Brokers, our weekly feature covering the dynamics of the insurance market, how it affects Wisconsin businesses and residents. It's sponsored by the original Knowledge Broker, R&R Insurance. Joining us is Jeff Salazinski, Vice President of Insurance Operations. Jeff, we talked for quite some time about the disruption that mergers and acquisitions in the insurance industry can cause. So what did 2024 look like, and what do you see ahead for 25?
Thanks, Vince. Great to be here. It was another incredibly busy year for mergers and acquisitions in our space. Over 750 agents and brokers chose to sell their business in 2024, and that follows 833 deals in 2023.
So, Jeff, remind us again why that's important for folks who are listening right now.
Vince, when your agent or broker sells their business, it means uncertainty, disruption, and in many cases, new relationships. Does any of this sound desirable if you're a business owner or a homeowner looking for guidance? New owners have new demands on the acquired business. New systems mean employees and sales staff will be internally focused for extended periods of time. The focus becomes very much internal, away from the customer, as those acquired organizations figure out who's in charge, what systems are we going to use, and what does my future role look like going forward? Wisconsin agencies and brokers haven't been immune to this activity and distraction either. Lots of activity in our state. We've even seen a few organizations on their second new owner in just a couple of years.
Jeff, I've heard you say it before. We are not for sale. Give us a recommendation for R&R Insurance.
Vince, we're fiercely independent. We've been family-owned for almost 50 years. Independent means we make our own decisions. This allows us to be client-focused and direct our energy and resources toward client value, not private equity returns or shareholder returns. If you're looking for a better insurance purchasing experience with a top 100 agency in the country, we'd love to speak with you. At R&R Insurance, we know business insurance.
That's Jeff from R&R Insurance. Thanks for the great info, Jeff. Just ahead of 7:30, I'm Vince Vitrano on Wisconsin's Morning News. Today is Tuesday, March 11th. Our top story, child exploitation charges in Walworth County.
I'm Erik Bilstad. Yeah, you're going to need that jacket.
I'm Debbie Lazaga. We do have some delays now. Eastbound 94 heading right past Barker Road to Brookfield Road. Back on the brakes from the Zoo interchange all the way to Hawley Road. Westbound 94, you're seeing delays basically from 25th Street to Mitchell Boulevard. Northbound 43 is backed up from North Avenue up to Keefe. Southbound slowing down from Hampton all the way down past Locust. And then 41 southbound, just some pockets of heavy traffic on your way down from Appleton Avenue down past Hampton. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Storm team forecast for today, high of 43 degrees. We're already there, and temperatures dropping this afternoon into the upper 30s. Tonight's low down to 32.
ABC News, I'm Sherry Preston. The market's open in right about an hour. Futures pointing to a higher open after Monday's big sell-off. The S&P and the Dow losing 2% of their value. The NASDAQ shaved off 4%. Investors remaining cautious about President Trump's tariffs and his refusal to rule out a possible recession. High-stakes talks between Ukraine and the U.S. are taking place in Saudi Arabia.
Ukraine will propose a mutual pause with Russia on long-range strikes from the air and sea. On the agenda also the Trump administration's freeze of U.S. military aid and intelligence sharing that is already dangerously hurting Ukraine's ability to defend itself.
ABC's Patrick Reevell at the Foreign Desk. Secretary of State Marco Rubio says the Trump administration has finished its 6-week purge of USAID, cutting 83% of the staff. House Republicans will vote today on their spending bill continuing resolution that would fund the government at current levels through the end of September. This is ABC News.
Outdoor Living Unlimited WTMJ News Time, 7:31.
From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, a former Walworth County correctional officer charged now with exploiting a child. Samuel Pieper facing 4 felony charges for child sexual exploitation and trafficking. Officers searched Pieper's home on March 6th. They got tips, they say, from the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children of money being transferred to the children in exchange for videos or images. Pieper has since resigned his position, And so far, the investigation has not found any known local victims.
The state budget relies on billions in funding from the federal government. That means funding cuts could impact the current budget process and the planning for it. The president of the Wisconsin Policy Forum, Jason Stein, tells WTMJ's Spanning the State the largest programs to get that funding are
Medicaid. In addition, within the Department of Health Services, there's Food Share, which is what used to be called food stamps. There's also several billion in federal funding at the University of Wisconsin that's from everything from research to student financial aid.
UW at risk of losing a portion of federal funding if they fail to protect Jewish students. A letter from the U.S. Department of Education lists UW-Madison among 60 colleges and universities warned about that possible loss of funds. 2024 pro-Palestinian student encampments led to fear among some Jewish students, as UW-Madison currently has 2 open investigations against it, alleging violations relating to anti-Semitic harassment and discrimination.
Milwaukee's Mitchell International Airport gearing up for one of the busiest travel periods of the year.
Airport Public Affairs and Marketing Director Harold Mester expects March 22nd and 29th to be the busiest spring break travel days.
We're going to have 28 flights on each of those days just to the state of Florida, plus another 11 departures to other warm weather destinations.
Mester expects roughly 350,000 seats to be occupied. Parking at the airport? Mester recommends using the MKE Smart Park app.
You can also make a reservation on there, which I highly recommend.
Greg Matzik, WTMJ News.
After a pretty nice Monday, temperatures back down to reality today across southeast Wisconsin. Storm Team 4 Chief Meteorologist Brian Desnansky telling Wisconsin's Morning News most places will reach their high already this morning.
Maybe inland, if you're far inland and you don't have the influence as much of that northeast wind off of our beautiful waters of Lake Michigan, maybe you squeeze back up into maybe the middle 40s this afternoon, but lakeside locations probably stuck in the 30s this afternoon.
Warmer weather returning later this week, along with a chance for rain and thunderstorms. Your complete WTMJ 5-day forecast at 7:40.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 7:34.
Traffic sponsored by the residential and commercial electrical experts at Best Electric. It's bestelect.com.
Connect with Best Electric for panel upgrades, electrical vehicle charging installation, and residential electric service calls. Visit bestelect.com today.
Coming up, where did she go? The search for a missing spring breaker.
News is sponsored by Griffin Ford, Griffin Chevy on Metro Auto Mall, and Griffin's Hub Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, Ram.
$1 doesn't buy much unless you're spending it at Griffin. For just $1 over cost, you can buy brand new tires from us. This is Jim Griffin. Any major brand, $1 over our cost with free tire repair and lifetime rotation. We'll even show you the invoice to prove it. Our only requirements, we put them on for you. Buy one or the whole set. The dollar deal from Griffin. Milwaukee, Waukesha, Fort Atkinson, and Jefferson. Griffin. The buck stops here. The deals on tires don't. That's Griffin.
Not combinable with other tire offers.
For over a century, local radio has evolved with the needs of the community. From politics to pop culture, we keep you informed, bringing you the most relevant news, online, on air, and on the go. You have trusted us with your news, sports, weather, and entertainment. Trust us to keep moving with you. Text radio to 52886 and tell Congress local broadcasting is here to stay.
We have an exciting giveaway this week on Spanning the State.
One fan will win 2 front row tickets to see the Beach Boys coming to the Riverside Theater Friday, May 23rd.
Tune in to Spanning the State this Friday.
With timeless songs that shaped music history, they continue to inspire generations.
Experience the music, the magic, the good vibrations. The Beach Boys are still making waves.
Win 2 front row tickets to the Beach Boys coming to Riverside Theater May 23rd. Tune in to Spanning the State this Friday.
Hey, John Mercure here for Azura Memory Care and Assisted Living. Their mission is to transform the culture of care. They specialize in caring for those with early to late-stage Alzheimer's or other related dementia symptoms, memory care issues. It's Azura Memory Care and Assisted Living. I've been in their places. I love how they deal with people. It's about compassion and empathy at Azura. Kindness is at their core. 14 locations from the Mississippi to Lake Michigan, 4 here in the Milwaukee area. Wisconsin-based and family-owned. It's about kindness and care. It's Azura Memory Care and Assisted Living.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 7:36.
Packers appear poised to sign a couple of guys. They may not be the droids you were looking for. That's Story in Sports at 7:45.
The FBI now involved in the search for a missing spring breaker in the Dominican Republic. She's a University of Pittsburgh student. Disappeared last week.
20-year-old Sadukshu Kananki was on that vacation in Punta Cana, the Dominican Republic, with 5 of her friends. There has been some surveillance video that has surfaced showing her with her friends and 2 American men. Later, there is some more video that shows that some of those friends and only 1 man came back. She was not with them. And then there is video of that 1 male coming back without her.
So they are now being interviewed. Those folks are. That was CBS News Pittsburgh reporter Erica McKay there. They do wonder if it might be an accidental drowning where this occurred. But there are questions about the actual resort that she was at. Grace Comer, it was at this same spring break resort. She says some places had no running water, bad food, blackouts all the time.
It was like anything that you could have imagined gone wrong went wrong. A nightmare, absolutely terrible. I was walking in the hallway back to my room and I couldn't see more than maybe 6 inches in front of me. Someone could have been standing a foot in front of me and I wouldn't have seen them. Just kind of scary.
So the parents are calling for more help in the search, but as of now, I think the speculation is that it may have been an accidental drowning.
No, either way, just a nightmare trip. And important, it's so hard. Anybody who's looked for a trip, even domestically, like you go online, the pictures look good, bing, bing, bing. This looks wonderful. Right?
And you
the
get
deal
there
is right. 7:38 on Wisconsin's Morning News. This report brought to you by Steinhoffels. Visit them at steinhoffels.com.
Your home is more than a place. It's a reflection of you. Make it uniquely yours during Steinhoffel's Make It Your Own event. From bold statement pieces to timeless classics, find your perfect fit for your style. Personalize colors, fabrics to make every piece your own. Save up to $800, and with Steinhoffel's 18-month financing, making your room yours just got more affordable. The Make It Your Own event, only at Steinhoffels and steinhoffels.com.
So the front hall closet project really coming along with Inspired Closets Milwaukee. I saw a commercial the other day for one of these high-pressure closet companies offering more than 50% off your project right now. Give me a break. What do you think their normal prices are then? If they can offer you more than half off, work with my friends Katie and Dan. Stop in and see them in Waukesha. Honest, upfront pricing. You'll know exactly what you're going to pay for your product. And they're no-pressure sales. They want to work with you to design a project that cuts the clutter, calms the chaos, adds form and function to your life. That's been our experience working with them on our new front closet. I love how it's coming together. Tell Katie and Dan that Vinny sent you. Inspired days start in Inspired Closets. InspiredClosetsMilwaukee.com.
Do you know the secret to losing up to 1 pound of fat every day? At Milwaukee Weight Loss, we know the secret. Our doctor-developed, easy-to-follow weight loss program helps you lose weight fast, naturally and safely, and with no drugs or injections with risk of serious side effects, no prepackaged meals, bars, shakes, and no exercising required. Our program helps reset your metabolism so you can keep the weight off for good with a coach for ongoing support. Our program costs up to half as much and works up to twice as fast as most other programs. Go to MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com to schedule your free consultation.
Hey, it's WTMJ's Steve Scavidi. I've been on this weight loss journey for about 4 weeks, and I've already lost 20 pounds thanks to my amazing team at Milwaukee Weight Loss. My wife's on board. Kathy loves it, and we are both feeling more energized.
Many patients lose 20 to 30 pounds in about a month or two. That's up to a pound per day. Schedule your free consultation by calling 262-449-1180 or online at MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com. That's MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com. Results may vary.
Checking in at 20 minutes before 8 o'clock on the morning drive. Debbie.
All right, delays really kicking in now. We've got eastbound 94 backing up from Highway F all the way to Brookfield Road. Also from 92nd Street all the way through the Stadium interchange. So be prepared for that. We got the westbound side backing up out of the Marquette towards Mitchell Boulevard. Southbound 43 hitting the brakes just south of Silver Spring all the way down past Locust. Northbound slowing down from Fond du Lac Avenue up to Keefe. And then on the bypass, we've got delays coming out of the Hale interchange all the way past Loomis. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
The WTMJ 5-day forecast. Temperatures will be out their warmest this morning in the 40s. Will fall into the 30s this afternoon. Mostly sunny skies and breezy winds out of the northeast. Tonight, partly cloudy, low temperatures falling into the lower 30s. Then for Wednesday, mostly sunny skies, high temperatures lakeside in the mid-40s, getting into the lower 50s inland. Thursday, partly cloudy, still staying quiet. Lakeside areas warm near 50, inland spots into the upper 50s. Friday, partly cloudy, breezy with some storms rolling in Friday night. High temperatures will be back to being spring-like, lower 60s by the lake, lower 70s inland. Saturday, we'll look at the chance for some scattered showers after some overnight storms roll through Friday night. High temperatures falling into the 50s for the first half of the weekend. I'm meteorologist Tyler Moore, the Storm Team forecast on WTMJ.
Right now, Milwaukee at 48 degrees. .42 Wisconsin's Morning News. This morning, U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio in Saudi Arabia. He's meeting with Ukrainian officials on a deal to end the war with Russia and escalation this morning. Ukrainian drones targeting the Russian capital of Moscow. Many, if not all, of the drones reportedly shot down in this massive attack early Tuesday morning. Tricky negotiations here. CBS News correspondent Holly Williams reporting from Lviv in Ukraine.
Zelensky stressed over the weekend that his country has always wanted peace. They never wanted the invasion in the first place. But going forward, Ukraine doesn't want to be pressured into a ceasefire deal that rewards Vladimir Putin with territory and then allows him to invade all over again in a few years' time, because that has happened before. And to stop it happening again, Ukraine wants security guarantees, including from the U.S.
Yeah, so those talks today in the Middle East not expected to include Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky. So you've got diplomats from both the U.S. and Ukraine trying to hash things out today, unlike the Oval Office blow-up between the two presidents earlier this month. So how are things siding out this morning? ABC News' Patrick Reevell.
President Trump has said Ukraine needs to show it wants peace and to agree to a minerals deal. Ukraine will propose a mutual pause with Russia on long-range strikes from the air and sea. On the agenda also the Trump administration's freeze of U.S. military aid and intelligence sharing that is already dangerously hurting Ukraine's ability to defend itself.
You heard that term, mutual pause. Can we get to that as like a one step?
Yes.
Right? And then see if Russia and Ukraine can honor that for however long, right, with whatever conditions. And, you know, can that be that first step up the long staircase here of ultimately getting to a lasting peace? But, like, instead of throwing the touchdown, like, can we just throw a 5-yard out and stop the clock and see where we're at? And that seems to be the goal today. Reevell also reporting both sides expressing optimism that progress can be achieved. 7:44, sports up next.
New treatments for joint pain are here. By now, you've heard about regenerative medicine. If you're wondering if you're a good candidate, answer these questions. First, does chronic pain in your knees, hips, shoulders, or other joints keep you from doing the things you enjoy? Golfing, jogging, time with the family. Does it hurt doing the things you need to do, like getting out of bed, sleeping, working, and walking? And finally, do you want to avoid surgery and all of the pain, long recovery, and uncertainty that comes with it? If you answered yes to any of those, you need to call QC Kinetics now. Learn about exciting advancements in regenerative treatments that can give you long-lasting pain relief with no drugs, no surgery, and no downtime. Get your free consultation today. Call QC Kinetics. That's QC Kinetics. Here's the phone number.
Call now, 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474. QC Kinetics, 414-285-3474.
Time for an update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Sports Desk.
Packers making some moves in free agency. Nothing official yet. ESPN's Jason Wilde among those reporting the team's poised to sign 2 free agents, cornerback, last with the Raiders, Nate Hobbs, and an offensive lineman, a guard named Aaron Banks, who did not come to terms with the 49ers. Friend of the program, talking to him next, ESPN Wisconsin's Mark Tauscher, understanding a lot of fans were looking for a bigger splash on offense.
This means it's going to be a lot of Tucker Kraft and a lot of let's get the Romeo Dobbs, let's get these young guys. That's not what Packer fans are going to want to hear. But it was always going to be these guys need to get a lot better. That was where the most growth for this offense was going to be, is the guys that are here when you couldn't pull off the big one, whether it was DK Metcalf, Devontae, or any of these other guys.
NFL's 2025 offseason season officially begins Wednesday afternoon, so you look for the official word from Packers on the new guys after some point tomorrow afternoon.
What'd you do on your 21st birthday? Or maybe, here's a better question.
Don't remember.
What had you already accomplished in your life by the time you turn 21. Well, for Jackson Churio,
live in stereo with my main man, Jackson Churio.
He's done quite a bit already. Today is his birthday. Happy birthday to Jackson Churio. I love this story from Adam McCalvary, MLB.com. He did a story about all the other players and their 21st birthday. Like Reese Hoskins drank his first beer was a green-tinted beer because it was St. Patrick's Day when he turned 21. Aaron Ashby. Aaron Ashby's own 21st birthday was not quite as big league. He and Bryce Terang were sharing a finished basement in 2019 at High A, Wisconsin, where their host family, the Backs, made enchiladas for Ashby's birthday.
Happy birthday, boys.
He washed them down.
How you enjoying that now?
He washed them down with a Wisconsin favorite, New Glarus Spotted Cows.
Well, all right, that's a good one there.
Well, happy birthday to Churio, who, by the way...
now, we've made this for you. Now, you're not going out, are you?
Now, Bryce... You take care of Aaron tonight.
Take care of him.
Churio,
that arm.
By the way, was on MLB Network last night through an interpreter. He says how important the postseason was for him last year.
It's a beautiful moment, and to be honest, it's just an experience that I just want to be able to replicate as many times as possible, and just to continue and have more moments like those.
Sounds good to us, young man. Go ahead.
Live in stereo.
Yes.
With my main man, Jackson Churio.
Bucks play the Pacers tonight. This is the second game of a back-to-back for the Pacers. So you know what? You should win this one. It's in Indiana. So Bucks and Pacers, our tip-off is 6:30. Coverage right here on WDTMJ starts at 6 o'clock.
Mark Tauscher up next.
Hey, WDTMJ's Erik Bilstad here, reminding you to subscribe to the Wisconsin's Morning News Podcast. We update it every day with every interview, every segment, every bit we do on the show.
Wait, we don't do bits on the show.
Oh, my God.
The Soties.
Thanks for the pretzel, Coach.
Oh, man, take a look at my life.
No Corona! All right, maybe we do some bits.
Be sure you subscribe to the Wisconsin's Morning News Podcast, presented by Tri-County Contracting.
Vince Vitrano for Connect Chiropractic, where the team is growing again. Connect Chiro getting set to launch its third location. Just met the new guy, Dr. Noah, and he's another one who believes in chiropractic care because it helped him from a very young age. Dr. Noah suffered the effects of birth trauma, and searching for answers, his mother tried chiropractic, and it worked. And Noah also thought it helped him as he continued on in life with chiropractic care, thought it helped him as a college athlete as well. And he knew that's what he wanted to study and become. And so now he's on the team, bringing relief to you and to your family at Connect Chiropractic. Get started online now at goconnectchiro.com or stop in. Locations in Delafield and Wauwatosa. And coming this spring, Connect Chiropractic in Oak Creek.
From the biggest plays on the court to the comments made in the locker room after, an in-depth recap of every Bucks game in 6 minutes. No more, no less. Bucks in 6 provides game recaps for every game. Hear the high-flying dunks from Giannis.
Puts it on the floor, spins down the lane, and plunges it through.
Or the deep threes from Dame.
Dame time has arrived with 107.
Bucks in 6 on the Bucks Plus Audio Network. Find it now on bucks.com/plus or on Spotify, Apple, and wherever you get your podcasts.
Are you worried about running out of money in retirement? Wondering about how to pay less taxes? Join me, Tony Drake, for the Retirement Ready Show live every Saturday at noon and Sunday at 7 a.m. on WTMJ 620 or 103.3 FM. We'll talk about smart strategies to help you retire with confidence. Don't miss it.
Drake & Associates LLC is an independent investment advisory firm that offers a variety of different investment vehicles. This commercial is provided for informational purposes only and should not be construed as individual investment advice. Drake & Associates LLC does not provide legal or tax advice. Past performance is not indicative of future performance.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee. From the Annex Wealth Management Studios, this is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
10 minutes before 8 o'clock. How are the roads, Deb?
A bit slow. Southbound 43 hitting the brakes from just before Hampton all the way down past Locust. Northbound's backing up out of the Marquette up to Keefe. Westbound 94, you're riding the brakes from about 16th Street all the way through to Mitchell Boulevard. The eastbound side's got some pockets of heavy traffic from 164 all the way almost to Brookfield Road, and then again from before 84th Street all the way to 35th. Southbound on 41, backing up from Appleton Avenue down past Capitol Drive, with the northbound side hitting the brakes past Watertown Plank Road pretty much all the way up to Burleigh. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Sunny and breezy today with the temp falling, so the high, which we're probably even beyond now, the high was 43. It's about 48 degrees right now, but it's going to drop into the 30s later on. Tonight, partly cloudy, low of 32. Tomorrow, sunny, 53 inland. Thursday, 58 inland. Friday, a high of 71 inland. Keep an eye on the forecast, though. Friday night could be a little nasty with storms. The forecast sponsored by Dave Drake Camp Heating, where your comfort is their family's tradition.
Idea man.
They are going to make moves.
Innovative.
Don't be shocked if it's, and this is where it gets real sexy, if it's an interior offensive lineman.
That is very sexy, you bet.
And Packers Hall of Famer.
So I know Bilstad loves all the podium guys and all the pretty faces. When you look at who wins, it's the big uglies. The Chiefs didn't have the big uglies this year. The Eagles did. The Eagles are the Super Bowl champs.
It's time for Tausch on Wisconsin's Morning News. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin and Kohler Services.
Our Tausch on Wisconsin's Morning News, sponsored by Kohler Services and Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin.
Huh. Boy, Vinny, I'll tell you what.
Football, Tausch.
Yeah, I was going to say, I mean, am I right a lot? Sure. Am I wrong occasionally? Maybe. But, and I know we're an audio platform, but I am on camera today. This is the sign I had up if you guys would have seen it yesterday. O-line, you know the movie Draft Day, right? Mm-hmm. Where it was the Trevon Mack or whoever Kevin Costner said. O-line no matter what. And that, yesterday, it was funny because you're watching Twitter, and I know X was out for part of the free agent frenzy, all the stuff, and Packer fans were getting antsy. I could see it and feel it. All these signings, the Lions are picking up a DB, and Minnesota's doing this. And then finally we see that, Banks comes in, and then they end up picking up a DB. So it's a different era. When Ted was the GM, you never really even thought we'd get into the free agency game. Goody is a lot more selective, but he has been very good. When he's made these picks, and he's brought guys in on free agent contracts, and he's paid big dollars. Most of them have been not only base hits, home runs, and hopefully that'll be the case here.
What do you know about the O-lineman that we signed off of the 49ers? So he was nobody thinks they just didn't come to terms. Like he wasn't disgruntled. They didn't want to jettison him. Like he's a good O-lineman, yeah.
Well, they're up against it. Yeah, I think San Francisco. If you've seen, we always. Around the trade deadline and, with free agency, you keep hearing, let's go all in. Let's sign these veterans and make that push. Well, bills come due. And the San Francisco 49ers, they had to get rid of their fullback, Juszczyk. They traded Debo. They have to pay their quarterback. Now, they've done this. They got very lucky that Brock Purdy was good, that they could do that with a rookie deal. Otherwise, they would have really been up against it. So I'm always leery when teams don't re-sign their players and they're a free agent because, the Giants obviously with Xavier McKinney, they just didn't know what the hell they were doing. This was the case, I think, San Francisco, they can't pay everybody, and this is a really good player. He's graded out. He doesn't give up a ton of pressures, and I really think this. Brian Gutekunst watched that game against Philadelphia, and when Elton Jenkins got hurt, the offense could not function. And I think there's always these gotcha or these aha, I can't do this again. I can't bank on undrafted and low picks to turn out and just plug in and we're going to be a championship caliber football team. He saw that. He knew that he needed to get better in the middle of this offensive line. He's letting Josh Myers walk. He's going to move I would guess. Elton Jenkins is going to slide in. And this is a big money acquisition. They're going to expect big things from Banks. Not only shoring up that pass protection, but continuing to build off of Josh Jacobs and that more duo blocking scheme that they like running. It's a really good fit, and I think that's why Goody decided to make this big purchase.
So what happens now, Taj? They still got any money to go after other players? What are you thinking?
So now it's more, and the crazy part of this is the league year hasn't even started yet. Right. We said yesterday the legal tampering, which is kind of an oxymoron. None of these deals are official, so you're starting to see everything happens really quickly. And now the big money, you have maybe a day or two. There's still some kind of pieces that haven't been signed that maybe haven't gotten the biggest money that they want. So now it's going to be more, are you going to go make this big splash? I still think they're going to look for a defensive lineman, whether it's an interior or an edge guy, that they can get on their terms that can come in and make a mark, because I think they had 3 or 4 spots I think you wanted to really address before the draft. Corner, they did that with the cat from Vegas. And then interior offensive line, they obviously did that in a big way with Banks. And now you're looking D-line pass rush. And what are you going to do at wide receiver? I think wide receiver is the interesting one. I don't know what that might look like. But I would think you're going to see one more move, probably not a big money one, but something that will be sneaky and hopefully really good.
What happens to Aaron Rodgers?
Pittsburgh. And I think that makes sense with what they did at wide receiver, picking up Metcalf. That's where all of the noise and smoke is going. But there's just part of me that until it doesn't happen, you just wonder if Minnesota's still in play. Their quarterback, Sam Darnold, left to Seattle yesterday on a $30-some million a year deal. And that career arc, it just seems like at some point is that in play. Everything is saying no, but it would be too juicy. It would be too much if that happens again, and that's where he goes. The storylines, oh, baby. Selfishly, just for Wildy and Tausch and for our show, I kind of want to see it happen because it would be nonstop entertainment.
Is Ziggy still the guy over there? Their GM in Minnesota?
No. I don't know. Their GM's got a long name. I'm trying to think who. I think the Wilfs still own the team, but.
Would you burn a season just to do it? Like, even if you didn't think he was a good fit?
It would be, Vinny, here's the deal. They don't know with McCarthy coming off the knee injury. Right. If you just do a 1-year deal and McCarthy's a stud, would Aaron Rodgers be the backup? You're bringing on a lot if you do it, and that's why I don't think they will. But, baby, it would be fun to watch if that's what happens.
Watch, they sign him tomorrow, E. And Pancake's going to have to redo the Open.
Right, yep, again.
Thanks, Tosh.
See ya.
These are your business headlines from the Milwaukee Business Journal.
Washington County Executive Josh Schoeman envisions a community space for the former University of Wisconsin-Milwaukee Washington campus. Schoeman wants the 80-acre property and 200,000-square-foot building to be revitalized into a multi-purpose facility called the Washington County Social Capital. Harley-Davidson introduces its most expensive motorcycle ever. The new model, the CVO Road Glide RR, has a $110,000 price tag. A People's Park restaurant is coming to downtown Milwaukee. The restaurant will fill the Flannery space at 425 East Wells Street. No date has been decided for a possible opening. I'm Logan Hans from MilwaukeeBusinessJournal.com on 620 WTMJ.
Hey, it's Jason Wilde for Excel Custom Decks. I at least like to think I'm an expert when it comes to football, but I know Excel are truly experts when it comes to the art of deck building. With the finest materials and products combined with their superior craftsmanship, they'll deliver exceptional quality and value on everything from backyard decks to pergolas and outdoor kitchens. If you can dream it, Rob and his family can build it. Family-owned Excel Custom Decks delivers decking excellence by design. Visit excelcustomdecks.com to learn more.
Wherever you are in Wisconsin, there's a free and confidential Aging and Disability Resource Center, ADRC, or Tribal Partner Agency. We're here for older adults, adults with disabilities, and your families. ADRCs are a bridge to support for benefits and financial assistance, transportation, in-home care, and more. Get to know your local ADRC and connect with resources today. Call toll-free 1-844-WIS-ADRC or go to findmyadrc.org. Paid for by the Wisconsin Department of Health Services.
Get started with your no-hassle refi checkup by clicking on the blue button at Accunet.com.
The Bucks are ready to speed past the Pacers in Indiana.
Torian Prince inside. Puts the shot up, missed it short. Giannis gets it back, and he slams it down with a two-hand jam as he rocks the rim on another dunk.
Our coverage starts tonight at 6 on your home for the Bucks. News Radio 620 WTMJ, Milwaukee.
Just after 8 o'clock, I'm Vince Vitrano on Wisconsin's Morning News. Tuesday, March 11th, our top story. Tariff concerns growing on Wall Street.
I'm Erik Bilstad. Funding cut threats at UW.
I'm Debbie Lazaga. Trouble on 94 westbound at 16th Street. Got the right shoulder blocked. Got a crash on the ramp from 4394 northbound to westbound 94 as well as the left shoulder blocked. So just be careful through the Marquette. Southbound 43 backing up from about Hampton all the way down past Burleigh. And then the northbound side slowing from the Marquette all the way up past Keefe as well. We've got southbound 41 backing up from Silver Spring down past Hampton with the northbound side slowing from Wisconsin Avenue all the way up to Burleigh. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Storm team forecast for today, already at our high temperature in the upper 40s, and then temperatures dropping this afternoon into the upper 30s. Partly cloudy overnight, low down to 32. Right now at 48 in Milwaukee. And from the WTMJ Breaking News Center, new concerns from economists this morning about President Trump's tariffs policy. ABC's Nicole D'Antonio.
Investors remain cautious after President Trump refused to rule out a possible recession as he imposes tariffs on Mexico, Canada, and China. Tariffs on steel and aluminum are set to go into effect tomorrow, which means everything from appliances to cars could soon get more expensive. And the president says reciprocal tariffs on America's trading partners will take effect April 2nd, meaning any tariff a foreign country has on U.S. products, the U.S. will match.
Half hour before the bell, stock futures are up at the moment. Meanwhile, it's not Canadian citizens versus U.S. citizens who will be hurt more from the tariffs. It's the workers.
When it comes to trade relationships, the U.S. and Canada is historically as balanced as it can get.
50-50. It's about $250 billion either way. There's no trade imbalance.
Ontario's Minister of Economic Development, Job Creation and Trade, Vic Fideli, joined Wisconsin's Afternoon News. He says both Canada and the United States could see job loss in the hundreds of thousands.
Not all of Canada, just Ontario is the largest customer for 17 U.S. states, and we're your number 2 customer for 11 more states.
Jessica Gatso, WTMJ News.
Voters in Greenland head to the polls today, and many of them with the United States on their minds.
Roughly 57,000 voters set to elect 31 members of Greenland's parliament as the debate over independence has intensified. Independence itself isn't on the ballot, but today's results could lead to a later referendum on the matter. Speaking about Greenland in his speech to Congress last week, President Trump said, "I think we're going to get it one way or the other," renewing concerns the U.S. could seek to take the island either by force or economic coercion. But while many in Greenland do support independence, experts say most want to be independent from Denmark, not join the U.S. Inez Delacuterra, ABC News, at the Foreign Desk.
Happening today overseas, high-stakes talks on the future of Ukraine led by Secretary of State Marco Rubio. It's This Morning in Saudi Arabia.
This is the first high-level encounter between the U.S. and Ukraine since those fiery scenes in the Oval Office that saw President Zelensky cut his U.S. visit short. Zelensky himself left Saudi Arabia hours ago, leaving it to his delegation to try to smooth any remaining ruffled American feathers. Vicki Barker, CBS News, London.
UW-Madison among 60 universities across the country in danger of losing federal funding if they fail to protect Jewish students on campus.
A letter sent to the school Monday warns of potential enforcement actions if UW-Madison does not fulfill obligations under Title VI of the Civil Rights Act to protect Jewish students on campus. UW-Madison is the only Wisconsin university on that list. The letter comes almost a year after a pro-Palestinian encampment formed on the campus. Meanwhile, UW-Madison has 2 open Title VI investigations against it, alleging violations relating to anti-Semitic harassment and discrimination. Adam Roberts, WTMJ News.
A judge is blocking the deportation of a pro-Palestinian activist arrested by ICE over the weekend, accused of anti-Semitic activity in last year's student-led protests that paralyzed Columbia University's campus. CBS correspondent Michael George.
CBS News has confirmed that Mahmoud Khalil is now in federal custody in Louisiana. A huge crowd gathered in Lower Manhattan yesterday to protest Khalil's arrest. ICE agents took him into custody Saturday at his New York City apartment and said his green card was being revoked.
A court hearing is scheduled for tomorrow.
Lawmakers mulling Wisconsin's state budget. Federal funding cuts could impact the current budget process. President of Wisconsin Policy Forum, Jason Stein, telling WTMJ's Spanning the State. Largest programs to get that funding?
Medicaid. In addition, within the Department of Health Services, there's Food Share, which is what used to be called food stamps.
There's also several billion in federal funding at the University of Wisconsin that's from everything from research to student financial aid.
The governor's proposed $18 billion in the budget coming from federal funding out of $59 billion overall.
Coming up, a change-up from a major Milwaukee flight provider.
News is brought to you by BBC Lighting. Thousands of fixtures, specialty lights, antiques, and collectibles.
Hi, folks. This is Hank Albert, owner of BBC Lighting. At BBC, we sell all the top brands of lights and ceiling fans, such as Visual Comfort, Tech, Schoenbeck Crystal, and hundreds more. We get every brand, and our prices are the lowest. I guarantee it. In our award-winning showroom, you'll also find factory closeouts with lights and fans priced well below their original cost. If it's lampshades or repairs you need, we do all that too. There's something for everyone at BBC, including fun for the kids and our famous free popcorn. We're open Monday through Friday, 9 to 5, Saturday, 10 to 4, and located at 20th and St. Paul Avenue, across from Sobelman's, near the Potawatomi Casino. Stay safe and healthy, my friends.
At Gruber Law Offices, we've helped tens of thousands of families after a serious accident. Our priority has always been our clients. We're here for you whenever you may need us. One call, that's all.
808.
Cause of that large Brookfield brush fire over the weekend still under investigation. Dead winter brush likely contributing to its fast spread. Talked with Storm Team 4 Chief Meteorologist Brian Niznansky earlier this morning. Says, well, the fire danger is moderate across southeast Wisconsin. Those planning burns this week ought to reconsider.
We're better off today with the cooler temperatures and humidity levels are up. But once we shoot back up again this weekend, like Friday, please no outdoor burning. I know a lot of people want to start burning some leaves and stuff now. I would probably hold off on that.
Rain, possible thunderstorms in the forecast for later this week. We'll get your complete WTMJ 5-day forecast coming up.
Spring break right around the corner, and a key component to a very busy month at Mitchell International.
We're expecting to see about 350,000 departing seats. Most of those will be occupied.
Airport Public Affairs and Marketing Director Harold Mester anticipates March 22nd and 29th to be the busiest travel days.
We're going to have 28 flights on each of those days just to the state of Florida.
Another 11 flights will travel to warm weather destinations in Mexico, the Caribbean, and Arizona. Parking at the airport? Mester recommends using the MKE Smart Park app. Greg Matzik, WTMJ News.
Meanwhile, the latest change in the airline industry will cost you more to fly.
It used to be the one thing that distinguished one carrier from the others.
On Southwest Airlines, we don't charge fees for stuff that should be free. Southwest.
Including, the company bragged, luggage fees. But starting on May 28th, Southwest will join every other airline and begin charging to check bags. Only top-tier customers will continue to get their first 2 bags free. A statement from the company does not specify how much Southwest will charge. Jim Ryan, ABC News, Dallas.
Man, but doesn't that put Southwest at a... Well, if they're at an advantage now...
That was the advantage,
right? That was the advantage.
Because we know how you feel about the boarding process.
Boy, the Forrest Gump school bus. Can't see it here, right? So just tell me where my seat is. But... that whole, boy, if we're traveling, so you're a family of 4 or 5, everybody with 2 bags, that's huge money, right?
Absolutely.
And understand where Southwest is coming from, right? Yeah, we're leaving all that money on the table. However, if that's causing more and more people to choose your airline over the Deltas, over the Spirits, or whoever else, JetBlue, what have you, I don't know. You had a guy on this morning who said, this is the death knell.
There's an analyst who came on who said that this is a terrible decision by Southwest, that this is going to actually hurt the company dramatically. I think his exact words were, if you'd like to hear it, were...
We are watching an airline self-destruct.
Why don't you tell us? Don't beat around the bush. Give us how you really feel about this. 8:10 on Wisconsin's Morning News.
Are you over 18 years old, over 280 pounds, and interested in participating in a clinical research study? If so, you may be eligible to participate in a research study involving MRI scanning. You may qualify to participate if you are 18 years of age or older and not employed by GE Healthcare, are able to hear and understand English, are over 280 pounds, are not pregnant, do not have any tattoos or permanent makeup, have no implants with the exception of permanent orthodontic retainers and breast implants. Pierre O'Godden is a principal investigator for the study being held at 3200 North Grandview Boulevard in Waukesha. Study scans are investigational, and the use of these devices has not been cleared by the FDA. The study is not being performed for diagnostic purposes and is not intended to replace your medical care. Your appointment will last up to 4 hours, and for your time and travel to GE Healthcare in Waukesha, you'll be offered a gift card valued at $80 per appointment at GE Healthcare's MRI facility. To learn more, please call GE Healthcare at 262-312-7855. Again, that's 262-312-7855.
Vince Vitrano for Biltrite Furniture, Leather, and Mattresses. Shop Biltrite's annual Friends and Family Sale and $1 million clearance sell-off on now. If you're listening to the show, you're a friend of the program, and then, you can use that. Hey, friend of Vinny's and Eric's over there, and tell them we sent you. If you're looking for affordable, better quality furniture or mattresses, you do what my wife and I did. We went to Biltrite for both our living room furniture as well as for a mattress in my son's room, and I tell you, outside of, we're very happy with the couch and a couple of the chairs and the mattress, but also the shopping experience. All about your comfort, your style, and your home at Biltrite. 4 generations, 97 years strong, celebrating 19 years in that Greenfield location. 3rd and 4th generation family members right there in the store working with their amazing team who will guide you through every step of the process. You want it right now? There are thousands of items in stock. Or if you want a custom order, they'll work with you to get that low sale price. 60 models of USA mattresses, including flippable and heavy-duty models, ready to go. Biltrite always saves you money. Open Monday through Saturday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. and Sunday, closed to be with family. Make sure to tell them Vinny sent you to Biltrite, 54th and Layton Avenue in Greenfield.
The Midwest's best baseball and softball training facility and retail center is here in New Berlin, and it's ready for you and your team. From little leaguers to hardcore players and trainers, this is the place you'll want to be.
You can't beat Burghardt.
Are you concerned with AMD? Now protecting your eyes is easier thanks to New Nordic's Blueberry Eye Supplements, available now at Amazon.com or NewNordicUSA.com.
I'm Brett Matschke, and you're due for service.
Richlands.
8:13. How about an update on the roads here, Deb?
Okay. Well, westbound 94, well, technically the ramp from northbound 4394 to westbound 94 has a crash, and it is off on the left shoulder. So something to keep in mind through there. Beyond that, we do have delays from about 25th Street all the way through to Mitchell Boulevard. Eastbound 94 slowing down from 84th Street all the way through to about 35th. Northbound 43 heavy out of the Marquette all the way up to Keefe. Southbound slowing down just south of Hampton Avenue all the way down past Burleigh. And then on northbound 41, got a couple pockets of heavy traffic, one right past Watertown Plank Road, another one basically from North Avenue to Burleigh. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Tonight's low down to 32 degrees, and we'll sort of be working our way toward that by the afternoon. Already at our high temperature of 48, with temperatures falling through the day by this afternoon into the upper 30s. Mostly sunny on Wednesday, high 45 at the lake, 53 inland. Again, 48 in Milwaukee.
Live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios at the Avenue in downtown Milwaukee, this is Wisconsin's Morning News. Here are your hosts, Erik Bilstad and Vince Vitrano.
This morning, how will we follow the worst day on Wall Street this year? Off the opening bell, which is now just about 15 minutes away. And what does it mean to any of you anyway?
Happening today.
Will things slide further? Will we stop the bleeding? Maybe some buyback as investors see opportunity. Just checking the market futures this morning, E.
Yeah, they were up all morning long. Then they were sliding. Now they're up again. So uncertainty at the moment as far as the futures go. Now, there was an indication that we would see a modest rise, but as of now...
All eyes on Wall Street this morning.
All eyes
Hang
are
on
on
now.
it. All eyes. No?
That's my pet peeve for those of you who need filling in. I think
all eyes on Wall Street
yes,
this
by
morning.
the networks in particular. You'll often see it on Today, GMA. Sometimes they'll both be doing it at the same time. All eyes on this, all eyes on that. I think maybe today there might be all eyes on Wall Street.
This could be that one time when that's actually happening.
All eyes on Wall Street this morning after stocks tumbled once again Monday. The White House downplaying those steep losses.
I think that we're pretty close to having the uncertainty behind us.
Meanwhile, China slapped new retaliatory tariffs on U.S. agricultural products, and the Premier of Ontario, Canada, added a 25% surcharge on electricity exports to 3 states, prompting the president to respond on social media, writing, "We don't need your energy."
Yeah, he's referring to about 1.5 million American consumers who at the moment are going to be dealing with that tariff. But yeah, the president did post on social that we don't need their energy. So why is this all happening? Here's Moody's chief economist Mark Zandi.
I think other countries aren't going to stand still. They're going to respond. So if we put tariffs on their goods, they're going to put tariffs on our goods. The Chinese have done that. The Canadians are pretty angry, as we can see from what happened over the last couple of days. They're going to do the same thing.
So, yeah, a little spooked by what was said over the weekend. We talked about this on Monday. The president referred to a recession, just basically admitting, hey, you know, a recession could be a thing that happens. And because of that, it really shook. Yes. Now, there are other words you could have used. The House Speaker, Mike Johnson, says, no, it's not a recession. It's more like a transition.
I believe that the policies that we're putting forth are going to improve the economy and bring down costs for people. It takes a little while. We're in a transition period.
Transition period is what you could call it.
I'm going to steal your phrase. Both can be true.
Yes,
right? We
yes.
could
Good
be
point.
setting ourselves up for long-term American economic success and also immediately headed toward a recession. In fact, look, I'm no economist, but many will tell you, like, the only way to get inflation under control for sure is to pull greatly back into a recession.
Right.
How else do you stop it? The more you pay, the more we pay. You had the report earlier this morning suggesting Americans have continued to spend.
Isn't that amazing? And we've talked about this for years now, about how the economy, this and that and the other thing, and that yet you go to the store or you go on vacation and there's a billion other people there throwing money around. Clearly, people still spending money.
Right. You'll probably have a report in the next several days from one of the networks on how much Americans are about to spend on St. Patrick's Day. $20 billion on,
and then
buying shamrocks and beer.
And then another $130 billion on spring breakers.
Right. So to that point, despite the inflation, Americans have still been spending. So the more you spend, the more we spend, the higher the prices go.
Yeah.
One of the only ways that we know for sure brings us back is in a recession. Whether you do that deliberately, whether this is a wise course of action, that's being debated right now. But it certainly is one of the ways that you bring inflation under control.
You would like to think that it would bounce a little bit today. We'll see. There was that report out from Market Watch earlier that it appeared that way. But now, again, like watching the markets, they've been up all morning long until just recently. Now we've seen the futures, fluctuate as we get closer to the bell.
Would be willing to accept just let's not go down any further.
Right.
Right. Let's get a pause. So I don't need everything to bounce right back.
What was the percentage yesterday you said?
NASDAQ was off 4% yesterday.
Oof.
And the Dow and the S&P 500 in the neighborhood of 2. Dow a little bit more than that, 2 and some, and same thing for the S&P 500. Yeah. In terms of what does this mean for you right now, right? If you're retiring in 20 years and you got a job that's not going to go away, no big deal, right? Don't look.
Big deal, but not.
But don't look right.
Right.
And if
keep the canoe in the middle of the river.
Right. Yeah. If you're on a fixed income and you're living off in part your investments,
right,
or if you thought you were close to retire, geez, I was looking at next year to retire, and now what was $1 million is no longer $1 million in those investments, right? Yeah. Or I'm thinking of you and me here, and a lot of families, parents, grandparents with college savings plans.
Ooh, yep.
If your young ones' accounts could be worth thousands of dollars less this morning.
We had a lot of conversations the last couple of weeks as this tariff stuff started to ramp up. Dinner table convo at our house talking about that.
So that's where you would feel it in the short term. To the broader effects on the U.S. economy.
The consumer has been the pillar of this economy, continuing to spend despite it all, high inflation, higher interest rates. If that starts to pull back and the job market starts to weaken, and some economists are saying because of Trump's policies on deportation and the government layoffs, we could see a big pullback in the job market, and that's when the economy may pull back enough to dip us into a recession.
ABC's Alexis Christopherson reporting there. So that is what's ahead. We're about 10 minutes out from the opening bell. Regardless,
we're going to change this up? We're going to watch the Bell live this morning. Should we do that? Bring it to you live in 10 minutes?
You're asking me, or because you're going to make my head explode? Because I like to do things.
I'm going to make your head explode. It's important.
We can move the clock around, so we will. We'll together watch and listen to the opening bell. Checking it with Debbie here. Before we do that,
all right. We have an accident on the ramp from northbound 4394 to westbound 94. It is out of traffic, but something to keep in mind if you're going to be heading through that area. Beyond that, though, 94 westbound doesn't look too bad. We're seeing our usual delays from 27th Street to about Mitchell Boulevard. Northbound 43 backed up from about Kilbourne all the way up to Keefe. Southbound slowing down just south of Hampton, down past Keefe as well. And then along eastbound 94, we're seeing delays from just before 84th Street to 35th. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
WTMJ's Erik Bilstad here. When and how you take Social Security could mean the difference of tens of thousands of dollars over your retirement. Do you have a strategy to get the most from your benefits? The team at Drake & Associates does. Since 2002, they've been guiding good people to make great decisions about their retirement, using their comprehensive retirement roadmap to maximize Social Security and optimize retirement income. And right now, they're offering a complimentary retirement toolkit. It includes Tony Drake's book, Get Retirement Ready, plus 5 essential guides to help you make informed decisions. To claim yours, call or text Drake to 414-400-4692. Again, that's Drake to 414-400-4692. Don't leave your retirement to chance.
Drake & Associates LLC is an independent investment advisory firm that offers a variety of different investment vehicles. This commercial is provided for informational purposes only and should not be construed as individual investment advice. Drake & Associates LLC does not provide legal or tax advice. Past performance is not indicative of future performance.
This change has leveled us up while being able to maintain the same quality of service that we've always provided, with no upfront fees and 1.9% real estate commission. We're proud to be part of the Century 21 family, so you can move fearlessly with the added confidence of top-of-the-line marketing for maximum home exposure. And that means more eyeballs and the real potential for the highest price for your home. This is Angela Calais with Century 21 Benefit Realty, benefit-realty.com, where you pay less for full service. Each office is independently owned and operated. With the ability to market luxury homes on a higher scale than ever before, Century 21 Benefit Realty has taken a huge step forward to tap into a global network of buyers. Maximum exposure to spotlight your unique home with our fine homes and estates marketing so you can sell it for the highest price. And with no upfront fees and 1.9% real estate commission, you win. This is Angela Calais with Century 21 Benefit Realty, benefit-realty.com, where you pay less for full service. Each office is independently owned and operated.
Hey, WTMJ's John Mercure here for Landworks. Take a look outside and imagine the yard of your dreams. What do you see out there? Thriving plant life, immaculately edged beds, beautiful, healthy blooms. I got this at my place. It's thanks to Landworks. Take the guesswork out of your green space with landscape services from a good local company, Landworks. Their personalized landscaping plans are carefully designed to make your property shine throughout the season. Plan it now. Now's the time to contact Landworks today. The teams I trust in my yard. LandworksWisconsin.com.
Whatever you want to call this season, we're over it. Time to look forward to
fly ball, right field. It is deep. It is gone!
Spring training is finally here and back on the radio.
Back again and gone again for Hoskins.
Make sure to catch our next spring training broadcast as the Brewers take on the Giants Friday at 3. No matter the season, we are the home of the Brewers. WTMJ.
Alleviate your pain, rejuvenate your life.
Rejuvenex.com.
Minutes away from the opening bell on Wall Street. We'll carry that for you live. Meanwhile, weather sure got nice in a hurry, if only for a day. Highs in the 70s away from Lake Michigan on Friday, so we have that to look forward to.
Keep an eye on that Friday night, though. News talks like that could get a little dicey Friday night.
So there is a big old low pressure that's going to move through the Midwest, right? And depends on what side of that we're on and how that affects us. But something to watch, right, for sure, Friday into Saturday. Meanwhile, an update on a major construction project back underway this morning.
Happening today.
Southern Bypass, so 894. Also known as Interstate 41, also known as Interstate 43.
Isn't it just 894, though?
All things true. That's how I always, or just the bypass.
Or the bypass,
Right, Deb? That's what and we all know what we're talking about. It's this stretch of freeway between the Hale and the Mitchell.
Right.
Construction is back on. This is the beginning of the end.
Now, what we're going to do, we're going to shut down 16 miles of traffic in both ways.
Forever.
Right. End in sight. It's a multi-season project due to wrap up soon. Work set to resume today on the shoulders. So they did what, Deb? Like the median wall and then most of the lanes, right?
But yeah, I think westbound they did like the left lane. So it was like, they were working on that stuff. And then and now they're going to be working on the sides. What?
Got to fix off the right-hand side now. So you've got the shoulder there and then some of the entrance ramps as well. So that is expected to wrap up midsummer.
Right.
So that's the good news on that project.
Okay.
You coming from Menominee Falls, so 41 north of the zoo interchange.
Between Burleigh and Silver Spring, that stretch. The barrels have been out. There's been some one-laners already.
Let the games begin.
Oh, God. Well, for the next God knows how long.
Well, at least in terms of the bypass, whole thing expected to be wrapped up given the weather and how quickly they can move with completion later this summer.
Now, what did you say about 43? That's going to happen someday?
2050.
Incidentally, 41 should be the summer of 2026. And then 43, actually closer into Milwaukee. I'm getting you the latest information that I could possibly find. Of course, this is not working for me. So egg on my face. Let's see. Full overview. Totally looks like by the end of the summer.
Okay, and then after that, no more construction.
That'll be done.
8:27, the opening bell is next. Vince Vitrano here talking with Connect Chiropractic's Dr. Alex Young about not only my care, but Doc, you brought one of your original first-time ever patients.
Yeah, I have Neil with us today. He actually came to us back in 2020 when we first opened.
You are the first, Neil, or in a class of the first?
First, yeah.
First ever.
One of the first, but yes.
What brought you in to see Connect Chiropractic?
I actually was at the home improvement show with my sons, and they had a booth there, and my kids were making fun of me because I always neck problems. And so I did the test that they do, and it showed that I
confirmed
the issues I was having. So then I made an appointment, scheduled the visit, and it seemed like a logical fit for me.
And still a patient now, and now you've convinced your wife to go as well. Sharon, can I ask you, because what was anything in particular bothering you when Neil made you go see Dr. Alex?
I didn't have anything in particular. I did the scans like Neil did, and I saw where I was off. And then a couple months later, my first follow-up appointment, after being adjusted, I was like, wow, that's kind of crazy how it changed.
And what other benefits have you felt since going?
I sleep better.
Mm-hmm. I hear that a lot.
I think that we as a family are more healthy. We don't get sick. I should knock on wood for that, but we don't get sick. We just feel better all around.
Doc, that's one of the things that I hear from a lot of people who are my fellow patients at Connect Chiropractic. Didn't even necessarily know what else was bothering them until it started to feel better.
Yeah, a lot of people come to us with one concern, whether it's neck pain or back pain, and then as we start getting them adjusted, they see all these other things start going away. Their knee pain, their shoulder pain, they're sleeping better, their stomach's not bothering them as much. It's really cool to be able to see all those effects happen. A lot of times people don't even recognize that they have those things going on until they start to go away and start to realize what healthy actually is.
Start your journey at Connect Chiropractic. It's Go Connect Chiro. That's GoConnectChiro.com.
Shop Steinhafels, make it your own event. Save up to $800 on the largest selection of sofas, dining sets, bedroom furniture, and more. All customizable so you can create the perfect piece for your space. And take advantage of Steinhafels' 18-month financing, only at Steinhafels.
Find furniture for life from Ken Michaels Furniture in Brookfield, Greenfield, or downtown Milwaukee. Milwaukee Mattress, where top quality mattresses are priced hundreds less than premium national mattress brands. Found exclusively at Ken Michaels Furniture in Brookfield, Greenfield, and downtown Milwaukee.
At 8:30, I'm Vince Vitrano on Wisconsin's Morning News. Tuesday, March 11th. Our top story, we're listening in on Wall Street amid growing recession concerns. Is that it?
That's the bell.
On a day where the NASDAQ was down some 4%, S&P 500 and Dow Jones Industrials down more than 2% in trading on Monday, we are off once again on the American markets. So just off the opening bell, oh boy, you have to refresh. They're still on the futures despite the bell.
Right.
So there it is.
Yeah, the hope was to see if we would see a dramatic one way or the other just to get the barometer of the situation as they just rang the bell. Obviously, things are going to potentially stabilize, but we were curious and wanted to keep an eye on the markets as soon as the bell went. What are you seeing now? Is it now starting
It's still listing the futures right now.
What I'm seeing here has it down, at least to start. They're off. Not significant, but at least to start the morning as the bell has rung, we are off.
Okay. Yep, I've got it now. Dow down about 85 points,
yep.
S&P 500 off 11, NASDAQ down about 18 points at 17,451.
Yep.
So it's not a dramatic slide right out of the gate.
So do you want to be the ring? You want
to have your little company ringing the bell
we
today?
see Capital Group up there. They're all cheering and looking at the bell as they...
You didn't want this to be your day to ring the bell, no. I suppose, but it is off and running, so we'll continue to monitor that through the morning here on WTMJ.
Checking the roads now, Debbie Lazaga.
Yep, we've got delays. We've got also issues. Southbound on 43 at Atkinson. We've got the right lane blocked with a crash. So that's going to be tying things up. Really, that's where the delays are, right past Capitol Drive to Keefe or Atkinson, same difference. On the northbound side, we've got delays coming up from Kilbourne all the way up to Keefe. Westbound 94, crash on the off-ramp to 25th Street from 94 westbound, so careful. On the eastbound side, we got backups from 84th Street through the stadium and then again right through the Marquette onto 794 eastbound. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Falling temperatures today from our highs here in the upper 40s. Should be the upper 30s by late this afternoon. Partly cloudy, low down to 32 tonight. Right now at 48.
8:32. Market's still off. We'll get you an update here in just a couple of minutes from Annex Wealth Management. Canada not reacting lightly to this tariff import from President Trump. So Ontario's Minister of Economic Development, Job Creation and Trade, it's Vic Fideli, recently on the campaign trail going door to door now. He tells Wisconsin's Afternoon News that he's never seen the country more united than right now.
Every single door, they told me the same thing, that they now, when they go to a grocery store, they turn every label around to make sure that the product was not made in the United States, or they told me that they're canceling their trips to Florida or anywhere in the United States.
Ontario alone could lose 250,000 jobs because of the U.S. tariffs.
Other news locally, a former Walworth County correctional officer charged with exploiting a child. His name is Samuel Pieper, facing 4 felony charges of child sexual exploitation and trafficking. Officers say they searched Pieper's home earlier this month after getting tips from the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children of money being transferred to the children in exchange for videos or images.
UW-Madison is at risk of losing a portion of its federal funding if it fails to protect Jewish students. A letter from the U.S. Department of Education is listing UW-Madison among 60 colleges and universities warned about the possible loss of funds. Last year, pro-Palestinian student encampments led to fear among some Jewish students. UW-Madison currently has 2 open Title IX investigations against it, alleging violations relating to anti-Semitic harassment and discrimination.
First time now in more than 3 weeks since Pope Francis was admitted to the hospital with a double pneumonia infection. Vatican is talking about an improved prognosis.
They are no longer using that term guarded. They're not precisely saying what his prognosis is, but they're talking about how improvements in his condition seen by his doctors in the last few days have been further consolidated. So Pope Francis continues to respond positively to the medication, the treatment which he is undergoing. But he is still undergoing important treatment, respiratory therapy during the day and at night. Tom Sufi-Burridge, ABC News, Rome.
Today marks 5 years since the World Health Organization classified COVID-19 as a pandemic.
The moment 5 years ago changed the world forever. The head of the World Health Organization declaring COVID-19 a global pandemic.
COVID-19 can be characterized as a pandemic.
The deadly virus spreading around the world, leading to lockdowns. Washington state recorded the first COVID case in the U.S., but New York City later became the epicenter. Michelle Franzen, ABC News.
Time for News About Your Money, WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. Wall Street open about 5 minutes so far. Dow Jones Industrial Average now down about 186 points to 41,726. S&P 500 at 5594. That's off 20 points. NASDAQ falling 33 to 17,435. Financial planning at every level. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Details at annexwealth.com.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 8:35.
Hey, it's WTMJ's Kristen Bry. If you're looking for a new dentist, you should check out my dentist, Dr. James Michaels at Economwalk Dental Care. Dr. Michaels is committed to providing you with the highest level of care possible. I can assure you that he will prioritize your needs no matter how sensitive, just like he did with mine. If you're due for a dental visit, Economwalk Dental Care has an $89 new patient special, so you can get the care that you need at an affordable price. In addition to my exam, Dr. Michael's staff provided a gentle, professional cleaning that left my mouth feeling smooth and rejuvenated. Listen, we all have to go to the dentist, so do not put it off any longer. Check out Economwalk Dental Care at drmichaelsdentalcare.com or give them a call at 262-567-7224. Start 2025 on a good note by feeling confident about your smile and go see my dentist, Dr. James Michaels at Economwalk Dental Care.
Tired of staring at that same old garage door? It's the first door that folks see. It's the biggest one on the house, and it makes the biggest impression. Great opportunity for you to transform the look of your home. Lifetime Door Company giving you a chance to win a free garage door. They'll install it for free as well. The whole package valued at up to $8,000. All you have to do to enter, 2 ways to do it. Text GARAGE to the WTMJ Talk and Text line, 855-616-1620, or if that's not convenient for you at the moment, just head to WTMJ.com. You'll see it right there on the front of our website. You click on the Lifetime Door Contest. You enter your name, a little bit of information. You are set to go. Don't wait. Do it today. If you like your garage door, tell a friend or another family member that they should get in on the contest. Rules are available on the website as well, WTMJ.com.
We're on the air in 3, 2...
Hey, it's Vince Vitrano.
John Mercure here.
Wait, does that car say Pella on the side? What's Gina Della doing here?
Sorry, I'm late. We're on the air in 3, 2...
Recognize my voice? Get used to it.
Talk all things Windows, business, and being a boss in more ways than one with Gina Della from Pella's very own show right here on WTMJ. Starting February 1st, tune into What's the Difference every Saturday morning at 6:30 or stream anytime on WTMJ.com.
What a tease.
Hey, John Mercure here for Azura Memory Care and Assisted Living. Their mission is to transform the culture of care. They specialize in caring for those with early to late stage Alzheimer's or other related dementia symptoms, memory care issues. It's Azura Memory Care and Assisted Living. I've been in their places. I love how they deal with people. It's about compassion and empathy at Azura. Kindness is at their core. 14 locations from the Mississippi to Lake Michigan, 4 here in the Milwaukee area. Wisconsin-based and family-owned. It's about kindness and care. It's Azura Memory Care and Assisted Living.
The last U.S. airline, Vince, the last one, to hold out against charging fees for checked luggage, is holding out no more. Sad news to report this morning. Southwest Airlines will impose bag fees for the first time in its 50-year history.
The line 2 bags fly free is a registered trademark on Southwest website, but the company has been under pressure from an investor group that's demanding changes in the business model to make the carrier more profitable. Starting in late May, 2 bags will fly free, but only for passengers who've upgraded their seats or status or have a Southwest Airlines credit card.
That's ABC's Jim Ryan. So, yeah, if you're a Rapid Awards A-list preferred member, you can check your bags for free. But otherwise, the rest of us, we're going to have to pay.
Look, I've made my complaints or, I guess, anxiety over the whole boarding process with Southwest what it is. Like, I don't prefer that. I would rather have a seat. Assign me the middle seat. I'll take that over the walking down the aisle, wondering, hoping, this free,
But you were doing that.
But we were doing it because, especially if you travel as a family, or think about that, family of 4, 2 bags each. That's 8 bags times what are bag fees? $20
at least,
right? At least, right?
Yeah.
So that's real money, and it drives people to Southwest.
Now, we don't know for sure that this is going to hurt Southwest, though. We should really hear from people in the know. That's just your opinion.
Okay, it's
right?
just my opinion. I'm just one flyer.
Let's hear from an airline industry analyst. There's a guy named Henry Hartfeld. Let's see what he has to say. I would respect his opinion a little bit more.
These changes destroy Southwest's 54 years of putting customers first and providing the best value in the sky.
Okay, so I don't know, Henry, stop beating around the bush a little bit here. Let's hear what you really think.
This is how you destroy a brand. This is how you destroy customer preference. This is how you destroy loyalty.
Okay, well, all right. I mean, it sounds like he kind of thinks that this is a bad idea.
We are watching an airline self-destruct.
I don't know. Give it to us straight, Henry. How do you really feel about this? I'm not sure we're getting it.
You are telling almost all of your customers your business doesn't matter to us anymore.
Okay. All right.
I don't know about the latter part, but to his point about the brand, right? How much money, how much time, how much effort, and how many years does it take to stick for companies to build their brand? You hear about that
50 plus years.
Hear about that exhaustively, right? Oh, you got to build your brand, build your brand. That's what that is, right? I fly Southwest. Well, bags fly free, bags fly free, bags fly free.
Just another airline now.
Right. And
Just
so when you
another
erode that, and I understand why they want to do it, they're leaving a lot of money on the table. But will their numbers be what they are? Are you going to ultimately lose passengers?
Now, don't you think they would have ran those algorithms, though? They would have crunched the numbers and said, hey, look, we're actually more in the black if we keep it the way it is. I mean, they would have done that, right?
Sometimes that's the explanation. You're right. You're like, smarter people than me who run this company know better about the ins and outs of their finances to have run these numbers and thought about that. And yes, they've done that calculation. Very often that's the case, right? We're outsiders reacting to it. Every once in a while, you get what this guy says. Actually, no, you want to see a company destroy itself? This is exactly how you do it.
This is how you destroy a brand. This is how you destroy customer preference. This is how you destroy loyalty.
And still the largest carrier out of Milwaukee Mitchell International Airport, Deb. So we will feel this impact here in Milwaukee.
We will see how that goes. All right. At the moment, we've got southbound 43 right about at Keefe. The right lane is blocked with a crash. So we are definitely seeing delays stretching all the way back past Hampton with this accident. On the northbound side, slowing down just past Fond du Lac Avenue up to Keefe. Westbound 94, a crash on the 25th Street off-ramp, so heads up with that. Otherwise, just delayed through the Stadium interchange. Eastbound's backed up basically from 84th Street all the way to 35th. And then we're looking pretty good around the rest of the system. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
And this, I think, is going to send Southwest into a financial tailspin.
Saturday morning with How To Radio. At 7, it's the WTMJ Fix-It Show with David Nason, featuring this week's guest, Comfort Awnings and Siding Unlimited. At 9, plan your dream vacation with the Fox World Travel Show. And at 10, get financial guidance during Money Talk. Contact Annex Wealth Management for an unbiased review of your investments at annexwealth.com. How To Radio, Saturday mornings on WTMJ.
These changes destroy Southwest's 54 years of putting customers first and providing the best value in the sky.
Reminds me of the SNL sketch. Was it Phil Hartman and Lovitz? Right? Hartman,
that sounds right.
Give it to me straight, man. How's it going? You're the worst actor I've ever seen, and you'll never work in this town again. Tell me how you really feel.
You are telling almost all of your customers your business doesn't matter to us anymore.
All right. Thank you, sir. Spring is upon us.
We are watching an...
Can I not have that guy anymore? Listen, message received, sir. I'd like to hear what he thinks about the markets today. We're all going to die. Can I get... I need to get through this here. Spring is upon us. Yes, we've had wonderful weather. So many folks outside. And whether you're looking forward to softball or tennis or one of your kids going out for a spring sport, keep Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin top of mind. You never plan for injuries, but rest easy knowing where to go and that you're in good hands should one of your kids come home hurt or you end up hurt as well. Now available 7 days a week for walk-ins, 24/7 virtually. OAW specializes in total joint, spine, and sports medicine. Not only is Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin convenient, you have 19 OAW physicians just named to Milwaukee Lifestyle Top Doctors of 2025. To experience their exceptional care and dedication to patients, visit orthowisconsin.com.
Your first time driving a stick shift. The car, sporty. Your teacher, nervous. You've got this. Just like Associated Bank's got you with Online Activation Zone, so you can easily shift your direct deposits from your old clunker of a bank to Associated Bank in just a few clicks. You've got this with Activation Zone from Associated Bank. See associatedbank.com/checking or ask a banker for details. Member FDIC.
Hey, John Mercure here for Guthrie and Fry Water Conditioning. My reverse osmosis system in my house is fantastic. The water I drink, the water we feed the dogs, the water we cook with is crisp, clean, and clear thanks to Guthrie and Fry's RO system. It's technology that's been around for a long time, but it's the best in the business, and Guthrie and Fry will get it to you. It's affordable, it's effective, and you'll feel a lot better. It's all about the science. Southeast Wisconsin's #1 choice, and my choice is Guthrie and Fry Water Conditioning.
Better water makes a big difference. Guthrie and Fry.
8:46 on Wisconsin's Morning News. You got any meetings today?
Yeah, got one with you.
I bet you. You do? That doesn't count. Our show planning meeting, that's not a meeting.
I haven't checked my calendar yet. I really should. I usually try to check it in the morning just to make sure I know. Usually there's 2 or 3 on there.
Wasn't Pat Murphy from the Brewers sort of complaining about meetings the other day? Right? He's like, a lot of meetings. And kind of said that with, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Here's an idea, conservation.
I love it. Conservation. Let's start by conserving our time and stop having these stupid meetings. No more meetings! No more meetings!
From the office there, new research backs that position. And if I can help our various friends who might be listening right now, if you're in management somewhere, this study was written up by healthday.com, explains the problem that so many have with excessive meetings. Here's the headline. Bad meetings can leave you with a productivity hangover. Article is based on a workplace study by the University of North Carolina at Charlotte. And the first line here, 90% of employees surveyed said they sometimes experience these hangovers, which they describe as lingering frustration and distraction after unproductive meetings. So you know exactly what happens when you come out of a meeting at work and you didn't think that was a real productive
So you're
meeting.
like, oh, I cannot believe I spent time.
You
So then
find your buddy, your pal, whatever it is, right, your break buddies, whoever you talk to in the cloud, and you're like, I can't believe we even did that. What was this meeting even for?
So you don't go back
immediately complaining.
You don't go back to your machine or your laptop and start cranking. Instead, you complain and
The
are
productivity
distracted.
hangover, right? Or even best case scenario, you're still trying to figure out if it was a bad meeting, what does this mean? What am I supposed to do now? Like you're still trying to process and figure it out because it wasn't a properly conducted meeting. So more than 90% of workers say bad meetings leave them with lingering stress. Meetings that are badly run, according to the article, often spread frustration across teams. Things people say, I could be running this place, right? That's all we're going to do. I could be in charge of that. So oftentimes you have a salary discrepancy as well. Probably don't need me to tell you, but you know, your boss or manager, he or she, you're like, well, they make a whole lot more money than me, and this is what they do. This is right. I'm here doing the work, right? Just on top of that, it sort of fosters and feeds that mentality, which is not productive. According to the article in Health Day, factors that can lead to negative experiences. So this is how to do a bad meeting. You ready? Meetings that could have been handled by email.
So that's not always fair. Sometimes, and you don't want to write like a 2-chapter email and just assume, okay, everyone read that through. Okay, now we got it. Okay, let's implement that and go. Like, that's not necessarily
I'll defend your
a good idea.
pushback on that in that sometimes where there's just an email that should have been a meeting,
right? Yeah.
Then everybody spends all day replying to all.
Mm-hmm.
And then,
yes.
Does this apply to this also? No, actually, if you
Then you
read
end up
the
having
email,
a meeting anyway.
right? And then, you know what? Let's get together and meet. All right, fair enough on that one. Unclear or irrelevant agendas. What is this meeting even about? Right? You come in and like,
what are we doing?
Why did you? You're 7-10 minutes into the meeting. You're like, what are we talking about here? I thought it was about this, right? Poor facilitation or meetings that run over allotted time. There is that. If you're going to take folks' valuable time away from whatever their function is supposed to be right now, let's make good use of that time. And whoever's leading that meeting is in charge of that. But also we as participants in the meeting, you can be a part of that too.
Man, I've noticed that with other things. Like if you're ever part of a board, if you're part of a volunteer board and that's not run efficiently, or even a Cub Scout meeting, come on, like we need someone in charge.
Yes, we can't spend 8-10 minutes catching up. Like there's a time and place for that. But I saw on Facebook you posted this, that, the other. You can't. Where meetings really get off the rails is when it becomes brainstorm by committee.
Yeah.
Right. we're planning the company event, and then next thing you know, like, oh, I think we should have a petting zoo. Wouldn't that be great? You're like, petting zoo? What the? I was just saying, who's going to bring the soda? Somebody needs to bring a 12-pack of soda. Somebody needs to bring chips. Like, where do we? Well, why don't we do that? Why don't we move the meeting to Thursday?
Well, Jerry's got a dog he could bring.
We should actually. What we should do is we should do it at a happy hour. Whoa, 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 whoa! What happened? And some of that is leadership of the meeting as well. The worst thing here also, no clear decisions made. So you've had this meeting. You walk out and say, "So what are we doing on this? Did we decide to move the next thing?
Right.
Did we decide to have this?"
See, I think sometimes, though, there are meeting members who kind of like just the sit down and breathe meeting because, you know.
Yes. And do you know what I would say about that? Y'all don't have enough to do. If you think a half hour of wasted time at work was good, you don't have enough to do. And that goes for the people who called the meeting as well. That's one of the other problems is like you look around and say, look, if you're the boss or you're the management or whatever, and all you have to do is have the meetings, like, leave me out of it.
And I know people, though, that, and I'm not talking about here locally.
Produce.
I'm not talking about here at our office.
Of course, none of this is about here.
I know people who, like, they look at their calendars. They've told me, and it's start to finish. That's all they have. It's like, okay, all right, next one, next one, where they don't even have a moment to, like, grab a drink of water or a coffee.
So I think to that point, here's the recommendation. Keeping meetings small, focused, and goal-driven can help prevent these meeting hangovers. Okay. That is what someone who works somewhere else might say about all of that.
No more meetings! No more meetings! No more
One more time before 9 o'clock here, Debbie.
All right. We've got an accident southbound 43 at Keefe. The right lane still blocked. Still seeing some delays coming in from before Hampton, actually just south of Silver Spring. The northbound side slowing down right around the North Avenue curve up towards Keefe. Eastbound 94, that's got some delays from 76th Street all the way to Mitchell Boulevard. We've also got some debris on the ramp from westbound 94 to northbound 41 in the zoo. They may have to close off some lanes. I'm not sure if those are barrels or what, but just be careful as you're heading through that area. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
We get it. You're on the go, and life gets in the way. Stay up to date on all things WTMJ with podcasts of every show. Available on WTMJ.com. And don't forget you can stream WTMJ online and watch your favorite WTMJ shows on YouTube. Every show, when you want it. No matter where you are. We are Wisconsin's radio station. News Radio 620 WTMJ.
WTMJ's Erik Bilstad here for QC Kinetics. A lot of questions about QC Kinetics treatments and people wanting to know if they should consider it for their joint pain. Well, if that's something that you're wondering, let's see if you answer yes to any of these questions. First, is your quality of life impacted by chronic pain, whether it's your knees or your hips or shoulders? Or do you not even remember when you felt good? It's been so long. Do you have trouble sleeping, walking, or day-to-day movement? Next, do you want to avoid surgery? Most importantly, do you miss doing the things you love because of joint pain, like golfing or playing tennis or just walking or sleeping through the night? If you answered yes to any of these, here's what you do. You call QC Kinetics. You're likely a great candidate, so don't wait. Call today, 414-285-3474, 414-285-3474, and there's no pressure. Call and set up an appointment and just learn about it and figure it out if it works for you. QC Kinetics. Get your free consultation today. 414-285-3474. Call QC Kinetics today.
This change has leveled us up while being able to maintain the same quality of service that we've always provided, with no upfront fees and 1.9% real estate commission. We're proud to be part of the Century 21 family, so you can move fearlessly with the added confidence of top-of-the-line marketing for maximum home exposure. And that means more eyeballs and the real potential for the highest price for your home. This is Angela Calais with Century 21 Benefit Realty, benefit-realty.com, where you pay less for full service. Each office is independently owned and operated. First off, our 1.9% commission structure helps get their foot in the door, and that's why agents like working here. But what they really like is having the strongest marketing tools available, with the resources to help them sell homes at the highest prices to satisfy their clients. Century 21 Benefit Realty offers what agents like most, and that's to help them be successful. If you really want to believe in the business model that you're representing, give me a call. I'm Angela Calais with Century 21 Benefit Realty. Call me, and let's talk about your future. Each office is independently owned and operated.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
Do you believe your eyes or not, Vince, when you see this video? Video of an indoor track championship, high school championship in Virginia. The championships were marred when a runner, her name is Alayla Everett, was seen striking Kaylin Tucker, another runner, during the 4x2. It was a relay, and she was holding a baton, and she hit her in the head with the baton. If you listen closely, you can tell when it happened. The girl who was hit falls off the track, stumbles, drops her baton. The other girl keeps running. We do have the video if you want to see it. Just text the word baton to the WTMJ Talk and Text line 855-616-1620. But here's the thing. Everett, the girl who was seen hitting the other girl with the baton, says she didn't do it intentionally.
My baton got stuck behind her back like this, and it rolled up her back. I lost my balance, and when I pumped my arms again, she got hit.
She tells WAVY, I did not mean to hit her.
I know my intentions, and I would never hit somebody on purpose.
Now, she was disqualified for it from the track and in the championships and all that. The school was punished for it. She's doubling down, saying over and over again she did not intend to do it. If you watch the video,
man,
it
sure looks like she wound up and cracked her on the dome.
Right?
Right.
And I want to be one of those, oh, yes, you got to make sure you don't just look at one 5-second piece of video and all that. But at the same time,
I tend to agree with you. Like, it's hard. It's one angle. It's whatever. You don't know what's in someone's heart or mind. You're willing to go on TV and say, like, no, here's what happened.
Yeah.
And I heard her, saw her on one of the shows today. No, here was the position.
Yeah, she's trying to show it. I think she's got her parents there with her. Text the word baton. You can see for yourself.
How do you spell baton? Is that two T's or no?
B-A-T-O-N.
See, that would have been one of our texters texting the wrong spelling of the word.
B-A-T-O-N. 855-616-1620.
WTMJ's Political Power Hour. Up next.
We are watching an airline self-destruct.
These are your business headlines from the Milwaukee Business